Electronics America knows so hard.
Na haina stand
iko nayo. There's a stand unaweza place vizuri na hapo bottom.
Kana kaje kwa stand?
Ni tin ukiangalia ni
what if progress? What if we can
place, yeah.
What if your laptop became
shit? I'll take photos of that thing when I'm
leaving.
leaving.
It's about giving yourself.
Please do.
While others scroll.
And I want one for my campaign.
Umewahi nani the Alpha Hub?
Sasa Gachagua ni first Kindiki, Gachagua ni
It's a good one. Yes, yeah.
Alpha nimefanya
mingi sana. I think hiyo ndio sasa place sijaenda and I would really like to go. Yeah. It's a good place.
Ile ya jana.
You said your name is
Moses. Nyanduga.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Moses hata unaona squeeze
currently moja.
Makasi ni watafute uongozi pamoja wasitafute. Una maana wewe ni binadamu ya basi ya kuku. Kama shamba yetu na Afrika ita wisha madani ya gosho.
You should never say whether you're
Unaweza kuharibia vitu mingi sana.
Naendesho de.
So you play the Gachagua defense Kindiki and then Kindiki responds to Gachagua hiyo.
Yeah, Kindiki respond.
Yes, clear.
Wacha nisikie hiyo.
Na huyu wakili ya Ruto anaitwa Abdunasir aliandika jana asubuhi. Sijui kama mlisoma. Alimuita Kwaka and something else. Akasema this is unexpendable. He is of no value. Nimepata habari vile walikuwa wananikosea heshima hao wa college. Wameanza kumtesa huyu Kindiki hapo. Kumkosea heshima. So we professor, you are our son. I want to tell you because you are our son. Ukipata shida hapo mbele because utapata. Welcome back home. Zindio? Huyu mtu mfupi amepangiwa na Kasongo. Saa hii they don't see him like anybody. And I've sent word to him. Nimetuma mtu rafiki yake nimemwambia be careful. When Ruto decided he cannot work with me, he sent people to poison me in Kisumu. When it did not work, he sent people to poison me here. I was very careful. I used to go to State House. He would pick the first plate. I'm supposed to pick the second one. Mimi nachukua ya 7 ama ya 8. Saa ile walinishindwa kunimaliza ndio akafanya impeachment. He didn't want to go to the impeachment way. They would have been happier to eliminate me. The way I can see watu ya ODM wanaongea wakitaka hii kiti ya running mate. Vile mimi naona watu ya Western wanaongea wakitumia hii maneno ya Olkalau. I have sent watu wa son Professor Kindiki to be careful. Hii maneno ya mandege, be careful. Be careful. Hii maneno ya chakula, be careful. Because at the end of it all, he is still our son. Si mtoto wetu. Na mimi ndio nataka kuomba vile wameanza kumulima na nimeona wanampangia. For now. Ndio kama atakuja nyumbani asikuwe uncomfortable. Sasa tungangane na Kasongo. We direct all our fire against Kasongo. Hii Kindiki for now tuachane na yeye. We leave him alone. Let him be. Akipata shida akija nyumbani tutamkaribisha. Mungu akimsaidia akae huko ni sawa. But for now let us focus on William Ruto na watu yake akina Murkomen. Makobora yote yetu ielekeshwe William Ruto na nani? Na Murkomen. Hii Kindiki for now tuachane na yeye. Yeah? Wale wasaliti hao muendelee na hawa. Hawa nimesikia Senator John Medhu akiongea Kameme leo.
Kuna hiyo barabara mpya amesema niende nikamsaidia atafute. Si namna hiyo kutoka Ndalani kwenda Kiwanzani. So hiyo vile vile tutaenda tuitafute. Mambo ya stima amesema tumuongezee sijui vijiji 40. Hiyo tutakusaidia my friend. Give me the list. Let the list. Twende tutafutie watu yetu stima. Hiyo ndio leadership ambayo tunataka. Vile vile mambo ya maji, watu wa National Irrigation. We are one people. I don't want to see our community talking in different languages. We are one people. Yes. Sisi ni jamii moja. Yes. Zamani kikanisa. So there is nothing that can divide us. Na wale watu wanafikiri wataleta hasara hapa ya watu kuongea different languages, wa relax. Na waambiwe sasa hivi Deputy Rais ni fireman na atahakikisha kwamba jamii yote tutatembea pamoja. There is no problem. Bana leta usumbufu, bana piga kelele sana, bana tenganisha wananchi.
Alright, hello there people of the internet, my name is Uhuru Jagero and this is Political Headache coming to you live from the city of Glasses, Nairobi, Kenya. I'm in the studio with gentlemen that believe that this country needs to move forward with a few or without some. So people of the internet, I have been away for some few days trying to recollect, going back to connect with the spirits of my motherland, that is Kisumu. Kenya, but I'm now back. I am in the studio with Moses, right?
Yes.
Moses Nyanduga.
Yeah.
Moses Nyanduga is. Are you a lawyer?
Not really.
Yeah. You speak like a lawyer, though. What's going on there?
BSc Agriculture graduate.
Agriculture graduate?
Yes, from
You don't
JKUAT.
look like agriculture. You don't sound like agriculture.
Oh.
You don't speak like agriculture. But even Ruto is an
Yes, Ruto is a scientist, but a senior politician.
Okay.
Yes.
I also have Mr. Adrian Olowach.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Adrian Olowach, you already have conversations going on in the chat, and they're asking you the very pertinent questions about what happened today.
Yes,
I will
yes.
go back to you. Please, I want to welcome you to Political Headache today, and I hope you are doing well.
Pleasure.
You know, the Duke of Dagoretti is here. The Duke of Dagoretti is here. A man that I have missed so much on this panel is here. And I want to convey my congratulations to you in person for whitewashing His Excellency the President Dr. William Ruto Nolkalau.
Thank you.
So, what is your problem, Adrian?
When did that happen?
Yeah?
How did he whitewash? Oh, you mean the defeat?
Yes.
Okay.
Could you eat of Nagari?
No, I've understood you now.
Are you jealous? Because
Why would I be jealous?
yeah, because
For what particular reason?
Because you thought that you'd go there and claim the win.
I've heard you say whitewash William Ruto. You know, to whitewash someone, maybe it's to make him feel like
No.
Okay.
You are disciplined.
Yeah.
So, karibu sana. I want to start with Mr. Fanyamambo. How are you feeling? What is going on there in DCP? I've got a lot of questions for you, by the way. Some of the things that I was discussing with a small community in Kikuyu today where I was.
Yes.
Yeah, but I want to start by welcoming you, and I want you to give me your opening remarks. What do you think about the country going forward?
Oh, thank you. I have even forgotten how to answer questions on this particular platform. It's been a minute since I was here, but I'm happy and grateful. And I think for us in DCP, we are happy, but we are also still not very happy about it.
Okay.
One of the reasons we are not happy about it is that we were made to sweat for a seat we never needed to sweat for.
Okay.
And it's not in terms of campaigning, it's not in terms of garnering the votes. It's because we became now men and women who were supposed to guard our votes. And that is the work of the police. We became men and women who had to search policemen and search their bags and tell them you will not introduce votes into the polling stations. We were chased left, right, and center. We had double cabins with unmarked number plates, others with fake number plates belonging to other companies.
Yeah.
We had people with guns, we had hooded people, we had people who had masked their faces, chasing us all over Olkalau throughout that period. It was a terrible, terrible, difficult situation for us. It's a victory that we won amid a very, very difficult set of challenges.
Yeah.
It is not something that I would wish to any of the people in this country that William Ruto would have to send you such a high number of ill-mannered, ill-intending people to just come and make life impossible for us. They wanted to rob that victory from us, but we defended it with everything we had.
Yeah.
And we actually did lose 2 lives. And a lot of atrocious things were done to our people. So we are not happy.
Yeah.
We are excited about the win. We are grateful that we took that seat. But we are not happy about the circumstances under which we were able to get that seat.
The 2 people that lost their lives, unfortunately, and my condolences to them, what was the problem? What led to their deaths?
These goons and these people brandishing guns are the reason that these people died.
Were they shot? Were they
One was beaten up.
Okay.
The other one was shot. So why did we lose them?
Beaten down by the goons?
Yes. Goons defended and protected by the police, as has been happening always. And the only crime he committed was just defending his own vote.
Yeah.
Saying that I have voted and I want my vote to count. By the way, I want to tell people that what you saw in Olkalau was the exercise of Article 1 of our Constitution in practice.
Okay.
The people of Olkalau had the option of burning tires. They had the option of breaking into shops. They had the options of, kungoa reli hiyo yenye ilikuwa imewekwa huko. They had the option of doing all manner of stupid things. But the people of Olkalau had their focus right. Ours is on the ballot. We are defending the ballot. We are counting the ballot. We want it to mean well. We want it to be. We want it to be known that this is how we cast our ballot.
Yeah.
And so everything that we did in Olkalau was geared towards making us prove a point at the ballot.
Okay.
And so what we are trying to tell Kenyans that when everything else fails, we shall revert back to Article 1. And that is power belongs to us. And on that day, we refused to delegate it to the police. We refused to delegate it to anybody else. We even told IBC, 5 ikifika, 501, stop. Ataka mtu kwa queue, stop. Let's start counting. Hatutaki giza ikuje na hii wezi wametuma huku waibe kura zetu. So we refused. And we counted by 6.
When I look at Olkalau, Mr. Fanyamambo, I would be wondering how chaotic it was. 2027 August, it's going to be chaotic the entire country the same manner.
No, I'll tell you what happened.
Okay.
When we went into Mbere, because this is important, we had gone into Mbere thinking that the person occupying State House is a gentleman like Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta.
Okay.
The reason I'm saying that is that in 2021, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta had allowed UDA to campaign unabated. He had allowed UDA to cast their ballot unabated. He had allowed the Kiambaa by-election to go on and another ward election in Nakuru to go on uninterfered with. But we came into Mbere and we had police all over the place. We had goons beating us up. They made the campaign hard. They made the voting hard. They made the counting hard. And in the evening, they did whatever they did and announced to Amodhende. So when we were going into Olkalau, we knew that we are dealing with William Ruto, who is cut out from a very different fabric from Uhuru Kenyatta. William Ruto never allowed us to campaign in peace. You saw how our DCP trucks were attacked throughout the campaign period. He never allowed us to cast ballots in peace. He sent 4 water cannons, 4 lorries. He sent 1,000 policemen. He sent a number of people, we don't know how many, in double cabins and Prados and all those things that you saw being exposed on TV.
Yeah.
We were beaten up. Our people were tortured. Our people were maimed. Some goons raped some women. All these things have been recorded at police stations. So this was a terrible, and the whole idea was voter suppression.
Yeah.
So first, not only did they affect us during campaigns, they affected how we voted, they affected how everything happened, and they wanted to interfere with counting.
Yeah.
And that's why we made sure by 6 p.m. most of the results were out. Ukimaliza unaambua tangaza sahi, tangaza, wewe tangaza. And that is how we were able to protect our vote.
Yeah.
So we are dealing with an administration that is weak and that is made of cowards who just want to threaten everybody. But I'll tell you something that is important, because I know we have other people on the panel. God is faithful. He allowed William Ruto to bring his A game, A++. He brought his A game for 2027. He brought his water cannons. He brought his policemen. He brought the hooded men. He brought them with guns. He brought them with everything. I think he wanted to do a mock run of 2027. You know, he had told us, nitawaosha asubuhi mapema, 2027 nitamalizana na wao, asubuhi nitakuwa nimemalizana na hao, hakuna mtu ananiweza. Kumbe, what William Ruto meant with all these statements was, I have the goons, I have the guns, I have the hooded men, I have marked ballots, all those things he was doing on Olkalao. That's what he meant for us in 2027. And God is ever so faithful, because we were able to show him, with your goons, with your guns, with your hooded men, with your double cabins, with your Prado, with your policemen, with your water cannons, with the marked ballots, we have beaten you 85% to 13%.
Yeah.
That is a very strong message, and that is what we are telling Kenyans. It is possible, it has been done, it's going to be done. Sasa nyinyi kwenyu, mwende mufanye vile tulifanya Olkalao. Be firm, be decisive, be strong. Do not burn down your places. We never burnt down Olkalao. Do not loot shops. Do not steal from people. Do not beat up your own people. Be firm. Look at the policemen. Tell them in the face, we are protecting our ballot. And they will listen to you. So it has happened in Olkalao, and we are asking Kenyans to do it all over the place. Musianze upuzi ya kuchoma matairi huko na kuvunja maduka za watu. We never did that nonsense, but we still made our point.
Yeah. Mr. Moses,
yes.
Is it that bad?
The situation currently is very bad, not that just bad. We live in a country today where the respect to human life doesn't matter. We've seen goons roaming everywhere in the city, and it's so sad that now they're even moving to the rural setup of the country. Last week's situation in Olkalao is so saddening. Seeing two innocent young Kenyans losing their life because of election malpractices, where a regime of the day and the established structure of the day hold the view that unless they are announced as the winners, that is when the election can be accounted to be anything significant in this structure. And Jagero, it's so disheartening, because when you can have a look at those videos, the people of Olkalao made a solemn vow. We've seen mattresses, we've seen shoes, fares, and even gases. But the question will continue to be, and just like I asked you in our last interview, what is the meaning of channeling all this in the name of political campaign when there is a child there in Turkana who cannot even study in a classroom like this? The situation we have currently, or the situation we saw in Olkalao, is just a representation of the majority who are silent in this country. And revolution doesn't mean it outbursts like just once. It always starts with one channel, moving from one channel to the next. Let me congratulate the DCP candidate. However, according to me, I believe DCP is overexcited. The reason being...
They're overexcited?
Yeah, overexcited in the sense that Mount Kenya region is already a stronghold of the DCP. And the number of media interviews and press conferences they've had for only these 3 days is a testament that there is a problem somewhere.
Within DCP?
Yes, within DCP. Because Mount Kenya being their political backyard and bedroom, I believe it was something which was obvious. Even the state tried to sabotage the election result. They tried to do everything to interfere with the genuine decision of the people of Olkalao. As much as DCP stood its ground, it's something we cannot use to analyze and make a decision on the basis of that as a prima factor. The reason being...
I think they don't get what we are coming to. And I need to correct that. DCP is not showing excitement about us having won a seat within Mount Kenya. We know we won even in Mbere. DCP is excited about the complete destruction of the William Ruto machinery of beating up people, killing people, having goons, robbing elections, and taking away the dignity of the people and the desire of the people at the ballot. So what we are excited about is not that we won the seat in Olkalao.
Yes.
No, it is that the circumstances that William Ruto had set for us were meant to make us fail, and people of faint heart would have failed anyway.
Okay.
What we are excited about is having destroyed William Ruto's campaign plan of 2027. What he had come to test in Olkalau is how he would have multiplied that in 290 constituencies. Just a state-sponsored violence, a state-sponsored voter suppression, state-sponsored, engineered.
Do you think that he has enough V8 to crisscross the entire country?
No, the idea was this. Come and use that, then declare themselves winners to demoralize the whole of Mount Kenya, because people would have been like, kama hii tumeshindwa, that's what he's going to do in 2027. So the idea was to kill us and demoralize us. And the reason we are shouting so hard at him and making a lot of noise at him and telling him we have won is not because we won in Mount Kenya. It's because we won the impunity. It is a war against impunity. It's not a question of whether we have votes to win in Mount Kenya. No. It's a question of, can we suppress those double cabins? Can we suppress these hooded policemen? Can we suppress this idea that you can come with marked ballots? That for us is the win. And that is what we are trying to preach to every other person. That when you go back home, refuse this hegemony, refuse this kind of leadership, fight against it. That's what we are telling Kenya.
But Moses, do you still agree that they are overexcited?
I'm still maintaining my view that DCP is overexcited, and this is the reason.
You can push this closer to you.
Yes, you see the situation currently happening in the country. Jagero, like I said, is a representation of whatever is happening in other parts. There is already a popular public opinion that the regime of President William Ruto, or the Kenya Kwanza regime, is taking us into a totally different direction and structure, which we as the people made a decision unknowingly to give powers to the regime to take us into that direction. I'm saying this because the Article 1 of the Constitution is quite clear. Power belongs to the people. So it's we to blame first. But now when we talk about the DCP as an institution, as a political party, I'm saying still they're overexcited because as at now, we are supposed to view politics from a macro environment scale. We should
what does that mean in English?
We mean that we should view it from a mega perspective. That this is called Olkalau, yes. But do we have what it takes to defeat President William Ruto next year? Should the same circumstances duplicate itself?
So that when you talk about circumstances here, we are talking about the
goons
and the
torture
and the public display of money.
Yes, and public display, because you see, number one, we joined politics either in politics whether win or lose. And in the process of losing or winning, it should be genuine. And let me agree with the Fanya Mambo. United Opposition actually won in Mbeere North. I do believe, because the circumstances surrounding that election, even if Kenya Kwanza candidate was announced as the winner, in politics some victories are failures in disguise. And I'll have to say this. I'll have to say this strongly and confidently enough that the current MP of Mbeere North, if he won't do something extraordinary, then next year he lose that election, because the same guys who help him to win that election will also be struggling to defend their seat at the national level. So the DCP, as much as they won Olkalau seat, the question they're supposed to...
Are you assuming that DCP, having won Olkalau, they are confident that they're going to win next year's election? Is that the premise upon which you're saying that they're overexcited?
Yeah, they're overexcited because you see, Olkalau is just a basic unit of politics in Mount Kenya, being one of the sub-counties. But now when we narrow it and when we go down the pyramid, the question should be the force, the energy, the respect, the discipline and perseverance they all accosted during the Olkalau by-election. Are they in a position to do the same across the country? That is the question. And if the answer is no,
does DCP want to win the elections of 2027?
You see, this is a new political party. And when you have a look at the generation of the political parties, there is how
because my feeling is that DCP all they want is to deny Ruto the Mount Kenya votes, and there is a huge fat full stop at that.
Yes, but when you listen to Rigathi Gachagua's speech the other day after winning the Olkalau, he said the issue of Mount Kenya, he's handing it over to Methu. Let him work on the prima factor, which is the national politics.
Also, Mr. Rigathi
Yes.
will go yonder and get
and engage in other regions. And whether Rigathi will endorse another political candidate for next year United Opposition presidential candidature or not, he's so much determined at least to have a hand almost in every province. And because this is very clear, whether they're going to win election next year's United Opposition or not, Rigathi himself is much in a position whereby he needs support from across the country.
But before I go to Adrian, who has been waiting on the sideline for a long time, I want to ask you, because you are confusing me.
Yes.
You are casting aspersions on the strength of DCP, and perhaps by extension the United Opposition. But you're also a one-termer. So where are you? Where are you standing? In 1 minute, so that I go to Adrian.
Yes. In 1 minute, this is it. I am. The opinion that President Ruto should serve one term. However, as currently constituted, the United Opposition we have, DCP being one of them, is not serious and not in a position to take President William Ruto home. As much as they can speak what. And I'll just state, for you to win a presidential campaign or for you to win a presidential seat, there's some of the things you need. You need resources. Perhaps they might have that. You need people, we call the spanner boys. They're the ones who will be responding to the critics. Because we don't expect Rigiji to respond to somebody like MP Oscar Sudi. If in any case Oscar Sudi serves him, they need the technical team who are going to interpret laws and work on policies and everything. Then they'll need the mobilizers. As currently constituted, it's only DCP having all those factors, except one. They lack representation across the country, and that is very critical and vital.
Great. I want to leave it at that. I'm going to come back to you. I want to start with very big news inside Jubilee for you.
I know that was going to be my question. You have been talking about it the entire day.
Who has been talking about it?
You.
No, I'm not talking about it anywhere.
Are you going to mention Pauline Njoroge?
Yes.
I knew it.
I am especially grateful to the Jubilee Party leader, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, who has been more than a leader to me. He has been a mentor, a teacher, and a political father. He believed in me and trusted me with responsibility and invested in my growth. Beyond the opportunities he gave me here at home, he also exposed me to leadership and governance. Since February, Pauline Njoroge writes, I have had the privilege of being part of the Linda Mwananchi movement. Over the months, my conviction has only grown stronger that this movement represents an important platform for advancing the aspirations of our generation. A Kenya founded on good governance, the rule of law, constitutionalism, accountability, and servant leadership. The same conviction aligns with me with the broader one-term call. A call not simply for political transition, but for the national renewal anchored in integrity, constitutionalism, and people-centered leadership. So, Pauline Njoroge has left Jubilee for Linda Mwananchi movement.
Yes.
Okay, what is going on there? Can you contextualize this for me? Because everybody is confused.
Nobody is confused. What Pauline Njoroge did is what a huge number of Kenyans are going to do. A shift from the old political parties to the new political parties or movements that are going to form part of the next government. In fact, I tell people, this might be unorthodox, but if you see Pauline Njoroge leaving Jubilee Party, coming to Linda Mwananchi, know that there is an indication that Linda Mwananchi is actually the next big thing in this country. That Linda Mwananchi as a movement, when it has its structure as a party, is going to be for the formidable force to replace William Ruto in 2027. And that is why you are seeing that statement from Pauline Njoroge. But aside from that, Pauline Njoroge has been a member of Jubilee Party for quite a long time, while still being associated or affiliated with Linda Mwananchi. Since February. And every time I come at this show, you've always been wondering, where does this woman stand? Are you guys also part of Jubilee? Is Jubilee your new party as Linda Mwananchi? Absolutely not. But Linda Mwananchi has been a movement. It has not been a party. It is a movement that has welcomed anyone who feels like they're affiliated to the ideology that we have. And part of the process is that as a movement, most people have entered into our campaign, or has shared our ideology or has tried to be associated with that.
Yeah.
And they have been inspired by what Linda Mwananchi is going to be doing, and they've been impressed by what Linda Mwananchi is actually having for the people in 2027. So what happened with Pauline Njoroge is that she joined Linda Mwananchi movement as one of the leaders from Jubilee.
Okay.
She was impressed by what we were doing. She was inspired by Edwin Sifuna, just like there's so many Kenyans who are inspired by Edwin Sifuna right now. And she decided that this is the right choice for Kenyans. So it does not just come out of a political strategy, no. It also comes from a personal decision of Pauline Njoroge to stand with Linda Mwananchi as the next government of Kenya.
The next government of Kenya. Okay, but what is the difference though? Because Jubilee, as far as I'm concerned, is one term, right? Linda Mwananchi the same is one term. DCP is one term.
Yes,
so
Linda Mwananchi.
It is interesting that right now, Mr. Fanyamambo would jump ship from DCP to Jubilee.
I think the contradistinction.
The destination is one.
The destination
is
might.
It the comfort of the bus?
The destination might be one. And I would love to also vehemently agree with my party leader, Edwin Sifuna, that it is of a greater ambition.
Edwin Sifuna is the party leader?
Listen, Jagero. It is of the greater. There will be a party. There will be a. You need to chill.
No. That's what I'm asking. Can you help me here? Because Orengo, the other day he put a big poster, and on him there was the party leader of Linda Mwananchi. True. So who is the party leader?
Orengo has alluded to the fact that he would want to take over as the party leader of ODM, not the party leader of.
He put up a poster on his Facebook account, verified.
No.
Did you see it?
Yes, I saw it.
You've seen it?
Yes.
But what has Orengo alluded in his rallies? Orengo has alluded to become
allow me to help all
the
of
president.
you. Allow me to help all of you.
Okay, please do.
I am the only person on this bench who is actually a founding member of Linda Mwananchi.
A founding member?
Yes. Now ametukuta Linda Mwananchi.
Okay.
And actually, even during the very first rally of Linda Mwananchi, if you look for the clips, you'll find me in Busia.
Okay.
Amongst the people who addressed the crowd.
All right.
Na nikapeleka salamu za rigiji huko. Okay. And Linda Mwananchi was started as a vugu-vugu, you know, as a movement.
Okay.
And so it is okay for them to have not figured everything out.
No, that's not my question.
No, let me explain. I joined Linda Mwananchi in the inception, but as a member of DCP. I was very clear to them.
Okay.
I told them I belong to the DCP party.
All right.
But for us to work together in the one-term movement, I mean, Kalonzo Musyoka attends DCP meetings. It doesn't mean he left Wiper.
Yes.
But he hasn't written a letter of...
No. Let me explain to you.
Okay.
Our Richard Onyonka is a member of ODM. He's always attending Wiper meetings. He's always attending DCP meetings.
Okay.
He's always attending Jubilee meetings. But he's a member of Linda Mwananchi.
But they're not writing letters.
So what we are saying is
they're not writing letters.
There will be men and women who will work with Linda Mwananchi as people who belong to constituent political parties, and there will be men and women who will feel the need to resign from where they are to join Linda Mwananchi and fully be part of Linda Mwananchi. I mean, choose how you want to associate with them. I had chosen to associate with them that way as a full committed member of DCP.
But you no longer go to their meetings?
No, I was in thicker with them. It's not that I have stopped going to their meetings. It's just that when I have a DCP meeting or a Linda Mwananchi meeting, I will go for the DCP meeting because I'm a member of DCP. Linda Mwananchi is still, as I told you, as we speak right now, if an election was called and I was a full member of Linda Mwananchi, what would I offer myself to the people of Dagoretti? Yes. I would tell them, niko na chama gani? I'm a member of DCP. And sometimes I meet with Dan Maanzo, the senator. He comes to Linda Mwananchi meetings, but he's a member of Wiper. You need to understand that it is okay for Justin Muturi to come to a DCP meeting, but he's the leader of DP. You need to understand that Matiang'i will go to a Kalonzo meeting, which is a Wiper meeting, but Matiang'i belongs to Jubilee Party. So once you understand that, you just say, we are here to sync energies. A time is coming when Sifuna will start doing joint rallies with DCP. It doesn't mean he has joined DCP. A time is coming.
What does it mean?
It means that the vugu-vugu he's leading is working together with DCP. The minute, like today when he meets with Matiang'i today, it doesn't mean that Sifuna has dropped Linda Mwananchi, he's joined Jubilee.
But he's not writing a letter of resignation.
Now, again, I tell you, how people choose, if that was her style, if she felt she needed...
If you're saying that people can jump from one podium to the other in support of one term, that is fine, I understand that. But to an extent where somebody is writing a letter of resignation and saying that they have joined this other party.
Have you thought that there is a likelihood that it would have been more about the party she's leaving than the party she's going to? You know, sometimes...
That is what I'm asking.
Sometimes
so what is
people,
wrong with Jubilee?
Jubilee there's nothing wrong with Jubilee.
Yeah.
Jubilee is just where it's supposed to be.
Where?
I had people telling us in Olkalau that we should have only one candidate. Jubilee is elected and need tutapigwa na UDA. We told them no. By the way, this is a very good opportunity for us as DCP so that people can know where really the mountain is and where people are. And I can tell you today, in the bulk of this country, except for a few regions, if you got a DCP ticket on the table and a red one for Jubilee, many people will take the DCP ticket and run with it. So that needed to be clear.
So then you are answering why she has left.
There is less energy in there.
Great, that's what I was looking for. And you have said it. My brother, why did she leave?
Yeah, in fact, I want to support Fanya Mambo. He has said something very critical. And in fact, I said it earlier, that there is always a process of death of political parties.
Okay.
And the death of Jubilee was very official the day President Uhuru Kenyatta exited the State House.
Okay.
And the fact is, when you have a look at the current Jubilee, Pauline Njoroge was just sitting and looking at the party and even asking herself, do we have a presidential candidate really? Do we have a party which we can go and sit down with our political parties and we reason objectively and competitively?
Okay.
Have a look at DCP party. At least they're trying. And when you have a look at the United Opposition, if you can withdraw the energy of DCP party, then there is nothing existing like United Opposition.
Okay.
Jubilee party, number one, when you have a look at its structures, it has the party leader and 4 deputies. Do you know even all those 4 deputy party leaders?
No, I don't.
You don't.
Okay.
Think of a situation, we have a party with a presidential candidate.
Who is the party leader of Jubilee?
Uhuru Kenyatta.
Uhuru Kenyatta.
Of course.
But Uhuru Kenyatta cannot be a party leader because he has retired from politics.
Yeah, and that is why he had a problem.
So he's there illegally.
He is there illegally.
No. And then we have Azimio.
How is Uhuru illegally? Uhuru can still be a party leader. How is that illegal?
But whether he is there illegally or not, the fact is the energy of Jubilee.
It's not illegal for Uhuru to hold
we speak today
the leadership position as the party leader of Jubilee. It's not illegal.
But Jubilee, we are talking about today, cannot front and support any serious political contender to win an election easily.
But there is an understanding that the party leader is the one that finally becomes the presidential candidate. There is a general understanding. That is the person who are. In fact, if you go to Azimio, who is the party leader of Azimio? Is Kalonzo
Musyoka today, yes.
All right, so where does that leave Matiang'i? If you have the party leader of Jubilee as Uhuru Kenyatta, and then we have the other gentleman, Mr. Kalonzo Musyoka, being the party leader of Azimio, which is the coalition under where Jubilee actually falls. So then what is going on there? Is that actually the reason why we should say that Jubilee is dead?
And you have that actually is not the reason.
Okay.
But when you have a look at the Jubilee party, the way it exists today, the activities and everything, it lacks the energy, it lacks the motivation to do everything. And I believe for an ambitious politician, you cannot go and stay in such a house.
I'll tell you what makes Jubilee dead.
Okay. Please.
Unfortunately, and I left.
Okay.
I loved that party. I was a member. They had the Olkalau seat.
Okay.
Their member died.
Okay.
First, where were Jubilee leaders during his burial? Okay, I did see Gachagua. Where are Jubilee leaders during his burial? This is your party member. At least attend his burial. Okay, number 2.
Okay.
You have a candidate. Jubilee. I expected a fight. I expected, all these other parties sent the biggest, their best. Who did Jubilee send to come? The only person I saw campaigning for Jubilee candidate was Zach Kinuthia. Hakuna mtu mwingine walituma huko. It's like they were not interested in the seat.
But your party leader told Pauline Njoroge not to go there. Wawache kiherehere.
No. That's a very different conversation.
Okay.
We never saw this Jubilee as a party sending a strong team there to campaign for their candidate. They were not interested in the seat. I don't know what they were doing. I didn't see Matiang'i there. I didn't see any of the Jubilee leading lights in Olkalao there campaigning for their candidate. They were not seen to be interested in that seat.
Yeah.
We didn't see a Jubilee nomination. We don't even know how that candidate ended up being the candidate for Jubilee. You remember the DCP nomination was more like the election itself. 12,000 people nominating somebody tells you something about it. So anyway, in essence, all I'm trying to say, people have started feeling like kama ile chama nataka kusimama nayo ni Jubilee, for example. And if this is the kind of support that you get from your party, you know, DCP, we gave blood, sweat and tears for our candidate. Everybody wants a party like that. Everybody wants a party that would kill itself for their candidate. A party that will give their best, their resources, their time, their everything. Rigathi Gachagua was always on the media. He was always speaking. He was always defending their candidate. We have not seen Jubilee do that. So that is what is happening. At the leadership level, I don't want to fight them. They are a sister party. We shall work with them moving forward. But it's wanting. There is a lot that is wanting from their end.
Okay, we have got a problem with my sound here. We just want to fix it and then go back to the people of the internet have not complained about this.
No, there's one who has complained. Fact 2.
Check mic. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes? Yes. Are we having sound?
We are not having sound.
Huh? But nobody was complaining. What is going on?
No, I saw one person. The people
Is it too
online.
bad?
Yeah, but why are you stopping the conversation?
Let me try hearing you.
Huh?
It's okay.
Right now it's
People of the
okay.
internet, we can hear you, Jagger. What is the problem? These people have been paid by who to discuss
Investigate them.
Can you hear me? We can hear you. Hello, people of the internet. We can hear you. What? You want to know Nagani?
I can see someone saying here, Jagero, your
Very
sound
nice,
is
Jagero.
paradise.
Continue, Bwana. Yes. Sound is excellent. Where were we?
Yeah, so we had just finished speaking about Jubilee.
What are you doing again? Huh? Which one? But this is the one that was there, bro.
No, the other one is not good. The other one is not working.
But this is the one that they have said they're hearing.
The other one is not working. Haiko hii kabisa. Sikia iko kabisa.
Mbona unaifanya hivyo na nguvu? These people are messing me up. Is there really sound?
It's okay.
Huh? Sound is okay.
I'm glad it's you today.
Yeah? This sound should be good. This sound should be... Sound is okay. And I'm 8,000 miles away, surely. Sound is okay. But I was at the place where Panyamamu was saying that Jubilee is dead. So, Mr. Adrian, so you guys are harvesting.
We are not harvesting. That is not the kind of word to use at a very, prestigious movement like Linda Mwananchi. That is not the term. We are inspiring people to be part of this movement. And as you can see, people are inspired. Even people from other different factions, from different political parties, they still want to be associated with Linda Mwananchi, despite the fact that they have their own political parties. Okay, which is a very good thing for us.
Okay, that's good. So what is happening next? What is she gonna become in Linda Mwananchi?
That is our own personal ambition and aspirations that he has not made public. Okay, but I believe Pauline Njoroge, through our interactions, she has stated that she wants to go for an elective position, especially in Nairobi. So I'm seeing that one of the seats she's eyeing for is the women representative position. Yeah. And I wish her the best, and I wish her luck. I have so many reservations about it.
You have reservations about it?
I wish her the best.
What are your reservations?
As part of the people who are also helping Linda Mwananchi
what are your reservations?
Become a success,
I
wish her the best.
What are your reservations?
I wish her the best. But I believe, also in politics, it's about, people coming up and putting up their ambitions in front of the people and let the people actually decide who's a better leader that we can support. Yeah. Linda Mwananchi, you've also had other candidates. If you look at Faith Odhiambo, she's also a favorite candidate to contest for a position like women representative of Nairobi or even senator of Nairobi. So I believe that let us see, first of all, these candidates coming out, and that is the reason why I still hold my reservations. I do not say that Pauline Njoroge is not a fit candidate, absolutely not. That is not my intention, or what you are trying to think that I mean. Absolutely not.
I'm not thinking of anything.
No, what I'm saying is that let us keep moving as a movement. We'll decide on who becomes our leaders.
Yeah. There is a video of Gachagua in Olkalau after the win where he's telling MPs that are not supposed to be elected by the Mount Kenya. Do you have that video? Is it the video that is written Gachagua Olkalau win speech? Is it that video?
But as they wait for that one, there was that one where he spoke to Kindiki and Kindiki spoke back.
Yes.
It was the first video you played.
This is the first video.
Yes.
And you have got something to say about it. Maybe we should hold on and talk about that video.
Yes.
I was being told today that Uhuru has told Mr. Rigathi Gachagua to keep off Mr. Kindiki. I don't know how true this is.
I do not want to cast aspersions, but I will speak as someone who comes from that region. Okay. And I'll tell you, in Kikuyu, we have a saying, and I can say it in Kikuyu and then translate. Okay. Ahoro ageshokagio na moshie. Yeah. Unapokuwa unampiga Mkikuyu mwenzako, you don't beat him like you're chasing away into the wilderness. Unamchapa ukimrudisha na nyumbani. Okay. At the end of the day, and I have said this before, this Kindiki man is still one of us, okay? And the unity of the whole Mount Kenya is very, very important for all of us, okay? We don't want to become like the Kalenjin Rift Valley that has been split into so many small pieces. There is nothing even to collect. We want our people speaking in one voice. Our vote is only important when it is one and in one basket. And Kithure Kindiki knows one thing, that splitting the mountain vote is not what we are looking for right now. Okay. So we are not going to go that direction. There's a CS called Roko. I think he's the CS for Mountain Division Affairs, because I have never had, I don't even know which ministry he serves in. I don't know what he does. Every other speech I've heard about him is about dividing the mountain. I think I want to add him another new role on top of his Mountain Division Affairs duty. And his new role is now consolidation of Rift Valley affairs, because Rift Valley is so fragmented. First, the Kipsigis are saying it in no uncertain terms that they will not vote together with the Nandi. Okay. True. The people of the Tugen, Marakwet, those ones in Baringo are also saying they will not vote together with the Nandi. And even the people of Eldoret, no, Lord, not all of them want William Ruto. So CS Roko, you have a new responsibility. Before you start wasting time,
is the CS of what? Education?
He's the CS in charge of mountain splitting affairs.
Is it education?
Something.
Public
we
service.
don't know.
Public service, yeah.
The day he does his job well. You know, I've tried looking for a speech where he has spoken about his ministry, Sijaona. So that's why I'm saying I don't know what he speaks about other than splitting the mountain. You know, when we had Matiang'i as Minister for Education, we saw yellow buses, so we knew that was a directive from him. When we have a minister in charge of transport like Mishuki talking about seat belts and, 14-seaters and so on and so forth, you can tell he's Minister for. But every time Roko speaks, he just speaks about Mount Kenya East and Mount Kenya West. So he's the minister for splitting the mountain affairs. So let him first consolidate Rift Valley. There's a bigger problem there than he can even start thinking about splitting this other part. As for Uhuru Kenyatta, he's become a scapegoat.
Okay.
This government has made it a classic scapegoat. There was a time even he was unwell and in the US, and he was still being blamed for the problems that were happening in this country. Mpaka wanasema Uhuru ndio ametuma Wakikuyu wafanye maandamano. Uhuru has become this thing that, everything that goes wrong in this administration is blamed upon Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. I think let's give him a break.
I think we shouldn't.
Yeah,
I think we shouldn't. And I'm going to remind you. I'm going to remind you, when Mwanyoro was talking at his home recently, he said very well that he's been collecting report upon report, and he has got a big report that he has made from the people, and he's been listening to the mountain. And he said that he's going to forward that report to Uhuru Kenyatta, and he's going to sit down with Uhuru Kenyatta so that Uhuru Kenyatta, together with him, can chart the way forward for Mount Kenya. So if the biggest firebrand in Mount Kenya is saying publicly that we are going to report, they have put together a report that they are sending to Uhuru Kenyatta, then you are telling us that Uhuru Kenyatta is not is a scapegoat.
But you see, Uhuru Kenyatta has not done the things you accuse him of doing. Uhuru Kenyatta never woke up one day and decided that the mountain should be split into two. Uhuru Kenyatta never woke up one day and did some of the things that they accuse him of doing. Just by keeping quiet and refusing to respond to these people, they still look for him.
But why is Gachagua subservient to Uhuru Kenyatta? To Uhuru Kenyatta?
No. You see, there's one thing I want you to understand.
Yeah.
The de facto leader of the mountain right now is Rigathi Gachagua.
Of course.
The de jure leader of the mountain right now is Uhuru Kenyatta.
What do those what do those two names mean? What do those two words mean? De jure and the de facto. What is the
by law?
Okay.
In the Kikuyu custom, kuna kitu inaitwa modhegi. Modhegi is the leader's stick.
Okay.
It is still in Uhuru's hand. But the bulk of the mountain has gone with Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi Gachagua is yet to receive the mantle from Uhuru Kenyatta physically and be told now, head the mountain. So either way, you still
Who gave Uhuru Kenyatta the mantle?
He was given the mantle. Remember, before Uhuru became president, the Kikuyu Council of Elders crowned him an elder of the Kikuyu community. You only have one Gachagua. You only have one leader of the Kikuyu community at a go. The elders have not taken that away from him and given to Rigathi Gachagua. What Rigathi Gachagua has done, he knows power is taken. He's gone all out and he's made himself the political leader of the Mount Kenya region. Now it's incumbent upon him to find a way to get this stick now, the mantle, to lead the whole community. So why
is he going to Uhuru instead of going to the Council of Elders?
Because, you see, let me tell you, there are many ways to go about things.
All right.
And Uhuru has not shown hostility to Gachagua. Why would Gachagua want to subvert the process? He could still go to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And besides, what's wrong with consulting him? And what's wrong with working together with him?
I think Jegero, you're right. Blessings. You know, one thing about it, generally, Uhuru Kenyatta can never be ignored in the politics of Kenya.
Okay.
And we have to agree, consequently, most of the times that we even talk about Uhuru Kenyatta in this podcast, the Kenyatta family is still a very, very, very powerful family in this country.
Okay.
And their influence over politics is still there. Even the so-called mountain that we talk about so much well, Uhuru Kenyatta and the Kenyatta family still have the influence.
Yeah.
It is just that those people have understood what real power means. And real power means hiding.
Okay.
That if you also want to control power and politics, you do not need to be the most visible and the most seen person as someone like Gachagua is right now.
Okay.
And that is why you would see someone like Gachagua, despite being like he has termed maybe the de facto leader of Mount Kenya right now, he still has to go back to Uhuru Kenyatta. Why is he doing it?
Okay.
He's doing it because he understands quite well that these are the people who still influences Kenyan politics. And they influence it in a lot of ways. Number one is the resources.
Okay.
Kenyatta family is ultra wealthy in the billions of dollars in Kenya today.
Billions of dollars.
The Kenyatta family has international foreign networks of people who have interest in Kenya. You can never ignore that. That is why right now, Gachagua might be very resentful towards Uhuru Kenyatta. But at the same time,
is he resentful?
Yes, he has spoken against Uhuru Kenyatta for a long time, even during the 2022 election.
Okay.
But at the same time, he's still afraid of this man. Why?
Okay.
Because he knows the hand of this guy in Kenyan politics.
Okay.
So if you want to talk about who is the leader of Mount Kenya, the leader of Mount Kenya is Uhuru Kenyatta.
Okay.
It is the Kenyatta
so
family.
why is your learned fella saying that we are scapegoating Uhuru?
No, it is true. It is actually right.
Uhuru.
In fact, the people who scapegoat Uhuru the most, it is Luos. And I keep telling you this every day.
Yeah.
The moment we discuss about issues like debt on a podcast, and you are sharing a platform with someone like Owidi, what does he do? He says, you know that Uhuru also took 9 trillion debt. So you want us to ignore...
And that is a lie?
It is not a lie, but so you want us to ignore the issue of the ballooning of our debt crisis just because Uhuru Kenyatta did something. And you find it so much, this scapegoating is fact is, it is with Luos more than any other tribe. They want to forgive Ruto for the mistakes he's doing right now, just because Uhuru did them.
Yeah.
So I agree with him. He's quite right that we are trying to create Uhuru Kenyatta as a scapegoat for everything. Look at Linda Mwananchi, and I'll tell you one of the examples. Everybody is howling around the internet saying that Linda Mwananchi is funded by Uhuru Kenyatta. But let me ask you one thing. Did Linda Mwananchi grow organically just as a movement? It did, right? Like spontaneously without anyone realizing. Listen. Spontaneously without anyone realizing, anyone realizing, it collected a few individuals.
But Kalibamisi started it. Is that organic?
He started it, but how does it grow to it become?
How did it grow?
How does it grow? Listen, it is not about. In fact, one of the biggest problems with Linda Mwananchi is for people to come out and say, "I started it." Nobody started Linda Mwananchi. Maybe the slogan, the journalistic phrase of Linda Mwananchi, you might say I coined it, but you cannot say in any way that I started Linda Mwananchi. When the first rally was called in Kitengela, it was not called because we had Caleb Amisi has a new brand banner called Linda Mwananchi. Absolutely not. It was called because we saw Sifuna, who talked about the issues of the Gen Zs there. We saw Babu Owino has been very vocal against this government. He's going to be there. We saw other MPs going to be there. That was the entire reason why people were there. So even this issue of saying that Uhuru Kenyatta funds Linda Mwananchi,
he doesn't.
And I'll say this.
He doesn't.
Let me ask you one thing, Jagero. What would it be wrong if Linda Mwananchi receives funding from Uhuru Kenyatta? What is wrong with that?
That is a different question. The question is, does he fund it?
I do not know. I'm not privy to such kind of information.
Why are you disagreeing with people who believe that he's funding?
I disagree with people who believe that because if, as Linda Mwananchi, we have been very open about the sources of money that is funding the movement.
Has been a digital goon for Uhuru Kenyatta and Jubilee for a long time.
I think goon is a wrong word.
No, it's a digital goon means that you're just a goon online. All right?
Okay.
Because I can take you to the tweet that Pauline Njoroge made in 2017. She said before the elections were announced that, polite reminder, Raila will never be the president of this country. That is something that Pauline Njoroge did. And Pauline Njoroge today, the Jubilee Party has written a letter of congratulations to Pauline Njoroge for doing what? For being the biggest blogger for Uhuru Kenyatta. This same just let me finish. Then this is a lady that has been, some people have called her a digital assassin. where she's assassinating basically characters of people online.
Yes.
All right? She is the same person who said that Raila impregnated the whole village. That is Pauline Njoroge, okay? Then she was in Jubilee. She takes off from Jubilee, which is owned by Uhuru Kenyatta. She has been gallivanting by Linda Mwananchi. Then suddenly she has written a letter of resignation and has joined Linda Mwananchi, and you're telling us that Uhuru Kenyatta is not in it.
Wait a minute. Allow me to say something.
Yes.
Again, I want to submit very respectfully that the first rally of Linda Mwananchi happened in Busia, and I was there.
Yeah.
We had Ruben Dolo,
Okay.
Yulowa boxing. We had Brian Weke. We had Senator Richard Onyonka.
Yes.
We had Anthony Kibagendi. We had Sifuna. We had Karoli Amondi. We had Babu Owino. We had Orengo. And actually, before we got to Busia, we did actually go through Siaya.
Yeah.
We did address some people there. Actually, on the way to Busia, we had 2 stops and we did talk to people. Okay. And also, when we went back, I remember we even had lunch in Siaya before we left back for Nairobi. And the decision to onboard some of these people that I see today telling me their principles in Linda Mwananchi, and I laugh. The decision to have some of them, and I don't want to mention them here, but the people I have mentioned here know. It's the decision to have them now onboarded was made mid-air to cure kwa fixed wing aircraft somewhere, and they said, can we have so and so? And I was actually consulted, and in my magnanimity I said, let's give them a chance, let's be fair. So that is water under the bridge. All I'm trying to say is that Linda Mwananchi was thought out, it was well crafted, and I like it. Have I ever wanted to claim ownership for it? No, I say no. I've always said I have profound respect for people who start something that works for them. For me right now, what works for me and my campaign and where I am is DCP. I'm comfortable with it. I'm happy wherever I am. And when I see some of the people who insult us, like one here who's used very strong words online, I usually tell them, remember, I am the same Fanyamambo who was insulted by Mount Kenya because I was with Baba. I campaigned for Baba, I voted for Baba. In fact, picha zangu za campaign, mimi sikuuza Baba kama bangi. Unajua Mount Kenya kulikuwa na saying, kuna watu wanauza Baba kama bangi, wakiwa wamemficha huku. Si wamemficha. I had Baba on my posters. So literally, I did use my money to sell Baba. And the votes I got in Waithaka Ward are the same votes that Baba got. So I delivered, okay? And so when I see some people like Odoyo, now that he mentioned him, who come here and try to coin Kikuyus as the problem and Kikuyus hate Luos, let me make it very clear for everybody. As Baba is resting in peace in his grave, and I pray he rests in peace, because I voted for him, let it be clear to everybody that the only time I stopped working with Baba is when he shook hands with William Ruto. I had a problem with William Ruto from the beginning. I said he's not fit to be president. I refused to vote for William Ruto. I refused to vote for UDA. I did not believe that the economy of this nation would fit on a wheelbarrow. It still never has. So I refused everything to do with William Ruto. I was consistent in my narrative. When Baba shook hands with William Ruto, I had 2 choices. One was to disrespect him and insult him and say bad things about him. I never did that. What did I do? I withdrew my support for that particular connection. And I am disappointed that he died when he was still in working terms with William Ruto. I was praying and hoping that he would have died when they were still not working together. So for those people who come and put all Kikuyus in one basket and, try to bring this wedge, because I have seen that wedge between Luos and Kikuyus. Atawaomba, wacheni hiyo upuzi. The problems we are facing as the people of Mount Kenya are the same problems that the Luos are facing. This narrative of trying to bring 40 against 1 is a stupid, useless narrative.
It's true. In fact, Fanyamambo, one of the concerted effort by this government is to make sure that they drive a certain narrative that the reason why Luos have not been having development is because of Kikuyus.
Of course.
And the problem is that you people don't speak Luo. And I keep saying this. If you go to any rally where Mbadi is there, you go to any rally where Opio Wanda is there,
of course,
they are always talking about Kikuyus.
I saw it coming.
Saying that the reason why these people the reason why
when
people
they say
hate us,
these people, they mean the mountain.
they mean the Kikuyu.
Yes.
Okay.
The reason why you people have not been enjoying development for all this time, it is because of Uhuru Kenyatta and it is because of Gachagua. They also say that the reason why Gachagua fell out with Ruto was not because of any personal issues. It is because we were invited to the table so that we can have development, and Gachagua was mad that development was going to Luos. That is the indoctrination that Ruto is trying to run, especially in Luo Nyanza. And right now you find out that it has worked so well.
Can I
because
ask you,
right now,
can I ask you a question?
Listen,
Okay.
there is no Luo who's genuinely supporting Ruto. There is no Luo who's genuinely supporting Ruto. In fact, the support of Luos is majorly coined on the fact that they hate Gachagua.
Of
course.
And on the fact that the narrative that has been driven successfully is that Kikuyus have never wanted Luos to become in power, and the fact that Ruto had appointed a few seats to Luos. Luos are now in power and Kikuyus are mad that Luos are in power. That is the narrative that has been driven.
Just the other day, Gachagua was giving a very interesting story about him telling Ruto that uyu mzee usikange na yeye. And he said also at some point in his when he was deputy president that ya kwamba mimi nimeweka mtego pale State House na hawezi ingia huko. Now it's very interesting because I am a Luo.
Yes.
Okay. And the issues that you raise are very interesting. Because when you speak, people have to put interpretation on what you speak about.
Of course.
Generally, people understand, and I never supported Raila Odinga. I've never supported in my life. But I can understand the amount of respect and the amount of following that the people of Luo Nyanza gave him.
Yes.
Right? Every time Gachagua found an opportune moment to trash the name of Raila Odinga.
Yes.
And he did it over and over again. Even in his death, just the other day, he was trashing Raila's name and saying, interestingly, that he busted Ruto. I don't know how you bust a president, a sitting president. You open a door where a president is having a meeting and you open the door. It does not make sense to me. All the Luos that are listening to Gachagua, and Gachagua is still taking forward the trauma that the Luo people have always had between them and the Kikuyus, whether manufactured or not. It has always been there.
But
so when Gachagua keeps saying, every time you speak about Raila is a representation of the Luos. And when the Luos are hearing Gachagua, who is a national leader, so to speak, trashing the name of Raila Odinga when he is dead, what do you think the Luos are going to say? They're going to take tea with you and Mandazi? That's what you think they're going to do? So the first thing that I think needs to happen is that Gachagua needs to watch his tongue when he's talking about the Luos. All right? Just the other day he was talking about the Kalenjin in a very condescending way. And he claims to be a national leader. Okay? Right now, the other day he was saying that, look, you should not lima this short guy from the mountain. That's what he said. This short what? This short guy from east. That's what Gachagua was saying. That was these two words. And then after that, he says that this Kalenjin called CS Murkomen and Ruto, that is where rungu zote zinafazi ende. So I think that when we are trying to be together as a country, we have to watch our tongues and we have to understand who is in charge of which region.
I get that quite fundamentally, Jagero. It's true. But, that is the reason we are part of the people in Linda Mwananchi who has a very big problem. And I mean a very big problem of us working with Gachagua. In fact, even if that DCP Olkalau elections, I never wanted to be a spectator of what happened in Olkalau. In fact, the only thing that I took pride in is the fact that the people of Olkalau protected those polling stations against the effort of the government to disrupt an election, a fair election that is grounded in our constitution. That was the only thing that I was proud of. But I did not want to be a spectator of it because I did not want to elevate Gachagua so high that he has now the keys to Mount Kenya. But there are certain things that we are still critical of Gachagua and they're still questioning, especially on the things you've mentioned on issues to do with tribal politics that he has continuously forwarded. But the problem is, the reason why I have a problem with that narrative of Kikuyus and Luos is that you're putting an entire region of Kikuyus in one basket and saying that this is the blame and this is the reason why you're not having development right now. But for me, my assumption right now is that Gachagua is not a representation of Kikuyus. Of course. That is the only assumption that I want to hold as it is right now. If the people of the mountain decide that this is going to be the representation of the mountain, then it is going to be a problem. Because right now what we're seeing is just politics, and I just want to view it from the angle and the lens of just politics. And that is why I would continuously try and absolve Kikuyus from this war that is between Kikuyus and war. All I'm saying is that Gachagua is not a representation of Kikuyus. But at the same time, let's look at this. I feel like one of the problems that I have is that we Luo people are actually being used by this government. Of course. Because even the idea of development, the idea that you guys are now in government, is also a deluded sense. True. And not an actual fact.
Of course.
So that narrative is not being spewed on a factual basis that yes, these people are to be blamed. No, it is being spewed because they want to use Luo people
as a shield,
so that they can get Ruto back in 2027. And if you look at it, it is working so well. Right now, Luos believe that they are in government in such a manner that for the first time in the history of ODM, we are not going to be fielding a deputy presidential candidate or a presidential candidate. They are so comfortable with the 4 positions of the CS that they want nothing. They are so comfortable with the idea that, okay, Kikuyus are to be blamed, that for the first time, ODM is not talking about having a presidential candidate. That is the greatest tragedy.
I want to give the opportunity to Mr. Moses.
Yes.
I agree with you, and I've always been here telling you about the issue of Luo of the Luo, because I also believe that the Luo leaders have let down the Luo nation completely.
Of course.
If you look at Nyong'o, what is he doing? Even your own governor that you claim that you want to take the government and do wonders with this government, the gentleman who claims to be a party leader has been in government since the 1970s. I think the first time he goes to parliament is 1980s. He has never done anything. But now Linda Mwananchi believes that he's the man who can change this country.
I think, Jargero, you need to know that there is also a faction of Linda Mwananchi, and I don't know if it will still be there, but there's a faction of Linda Mwananchi, number one, that does not want to associate with this old political class. People like Orengo. I criticize Orengo here daily, talking about the underdevelopment of Siaya County. We are the same people together with Caleb Amisi that are very critical of Gachagua and say this is not something that can work. It is the same for Fred Matiang'i. And we talk about it not even just on this podcast. When we are having a youth consultation meeting, even with people like Sifuna, we raise it quite well and we tell them, okay, we are having a nice movement that is going to form into a very good structure. But don't you think that we are sliding back as a country into what we just had in 2022?
Because I agree with you. When you look at Orengo waving his flag in Homa Bay, I'm wondering, what are you doing in Homa Bay?
No, it's not even about that. It's just about telling Kenyans, of course I agree, Ruto has to go. But now you're telling Kenyans that we have to side with a certain individual whose character is so questionable.
Nyandoga.
Yes.
More than even the president himself.
Nyandoga, you Luo?
Yes, I'm a Luo from Siaya.
Yes,
and I'll answer that, but let me start with the tribal narrative.
Okay.
I believe this is a...
Come closer to the mic, please.
I believe this is a sponsored narrative to pigeonhole the Kikuyu community.
Okay.
The difference between Gachagua and Luo leaders is one. Gachagua is always loud in his tribal markings and statements.
Okay.
But Luo leaders are also tribal equally. In fact, some of them are even very tribal as compared to Gachagua. Just like Adrian said, if you go and listen to a whole cabinet secretary addressing young people in Nyanza, if you can listen to him, then you'll probably say we don't have a country.
It's a shame.
You see, this is 2026, Jagero, and historical injustices of 1969, 1968 and everything, they don't have a place in today's democracy. These are things people like Orengo fought against very many years ago. And today when we have to declare a national goal and ambition, we are always supposed to be together. The reason as to why President William Ruto and Kenya Kwanza doesn't want Kikuyus and Luos to unite is because of one reason.
Yeah.
Anytime Luos and Kikuyus unite together to do something,
like
there is always energy, there is always a result, and something good coming out of it. So President William Ruto...
What are those few times that they have put themselves their heads together?
1963, Jagero, during the struggle for liberation in this country, it is largely Kikuyus and the Luos. They did perfectly a good job. Struggle for multi-party. Tell me which tribe fought more than Kikuyus and Luos in the battlefield.
Okay.
Just go and read a collection of stories during the second liberation struggle. It's titled, We Live to Tell the Nyayo House Story.
Okay.
And even the name of the victims and everything is the Luos and the Kikuyus. 202 there was already a popular public opinion that we were tired with the 40 rules of KANU. And there was need for political and regime change in this country. It was the Kikuyus and the Luos. And therefore President William Ruto is quite aware for him to survive in 2027, he must keep the two tribes not seeing each other face to face. But now,
in fact, that is the only. In fact, I tend to
that's
think,
the only way.
I tend to think that that's the only thing that can work for William
but
Ruto.
now the Luo community. But now the Luo community again and the Kikuyu community, there is also a big difference when it comes to their political standing.
Okay.
Something tribal since 1963, our political basic unit, and this is something enshrined in our DNA. The political basic unit of Kenyans has always been tribe. Anytime we go to do so, but now there is a difference between the two communities. For Luos, our leaders always start a song and we join them as the people.
Okay.
But for Kikuyus, it's the people who start a song and you must join them as a leader. Failure to which they are going not to follow you. The same thing happening. Okay. When you talk about the one-term movement and everything, and even reception of Gachagua in Mount Kenya, it's not Gachagua who started it. There was already that opinion, yes. He was impeached. But it's a people-led, people-centric agenda.
Okay.
It's something people are leading. But in Nyanza, those who are being, let me say, they're being pretending, and those who are being deluded that they're in government, it's just a small section. And by the way, if you meet a smart, brilliant Luo man who can reason objectively, 99% of them are questioning the government. We are not opposing, but we are questioning why. The Luos who are supporting the government are people having what I call rural dreams. Rural dreams in the sense that due to poor allocation of resources in this country, they are used to poverty to an extent they believe if we see a tarmac road courtesy of President William Ruto, then he's doing a favor. Not knowing...
You call it a rural what?
A rural dream.
A rural dream?
It's a rural dream because... Yeah, ndoto ya huko ushago.
All right.
It's because, you see, we live in a country whereby tribalism, mismanagement, corruption has rendered majority of Kenyans down the pyramid to poverty and in fact slavery. To an extent they believe if you construct for them a hospital, it's a favor they are doing. Not knowing in the constitution of Kenya, there is division of labor and responsibility between the national government and the county. If President William Ruto renames Talanta Stadium into Raila Odinga, Raila Odinga has been one of the leaders. And therefore, it's not anything what President William Ruto can do to the Nyanza people, which if he do it tomorrow, even can make me to change my mind is one.
Yes.
There is always economic sabotage in Nyanza. And I think we need to live in a country whereby we should be given...
It is the economic sabotage that people like we say that was done by Uhuru Kenyatta and the Kikuyu nation.
It's not Uhuru Kenyatta, and this is something which has been happening since time immemorial, since independence, and it's not only limited to Nyanza.
Where has there been economic sabotage in Nyanza?
Nice. You see, for a serious country, we should allocate economic zones and patterns on the basis of comparative advantage. Meaning, if Nyanza can do well when it comes to rice, wheat, millet and everything, then develop that industry in Nyanza more than any other region in the Republic. If they can do best when it comes to sugarcane plantation, do it to their level best. So there is economic sabotage because...
By who?
By the governments of the day, but now they want to coin it, and the Luos are counting those governments, and they are seeing the first government that sabotages them is Kenyatta one, and then they are telling you that Moi preserve the status quo. And then we have Kibaki, who sabotages it more. Then we have Uhuru, who sabotages the Nyanza region for two seasons. Right? What they want to tell you?
No. Let's because that's where you're going.
Yes, of course.
And you're talking about economic sabotage. Yes. And this is the exact thing that the Luos have been talking about. And do you agree that the economic sabotage of the Luos was started by Kenyatta 1? Do you agree that Moi kept that status quo? Do you agree that Kibaki was handed over that power by Raila Odinga in 2002 and sabotaged the Luo region for 2 seasons? Then another Kikuyu Kenyatta 2 enters the government for 2 seasons and sabotages it for 2 seasons. So Kikuyu 2, Moi is the status quo. So who has been sabotaging Nyanza? And why do you think the Luos would not look at the mountain and say that it is the mountain leadership that has sabotaged Nyanza?
Wonderful question. Okay. You see, the political question in Nyanza is so complex, Chakero.
It is complex.
The fact is, economic sabotage in Nyanza has always been carried out by the elected leaders from Nyanza region.
Okay.
Raila was a prime minister for how many years? 5 years.
For 5
Who
years.
was the minister of lands? James Orengo during the Grand Coalition, right?
Kajwang, immigration. Kajwang was immigration.
Yes, if I'm not wrong, James Orengo.
Yeah.
Today, go to Siaya, go to Homa Bay. How many residents from Nyanza can today show you their title deed? And the question is, who was the Minister of Land at that time?
Okay.
When you talk about industrialization and everything, we had Dalmas Otieno. What was he doing to empower this?
Okay.
There was a time where, even currently we have CS for energy.
The one that is shouting at the top of his voice against the Kikuyus.
The difference between a Kikuyu leader, the Kikuyus and the Luos has always been another thing. And this is the reason. I've been living partly of my life in Mount Kenya region.
Okay.
If you go to Juja, where I reside even today,
all right,
our MP is George Koimburi. But when you have a look at some of the things being done by the CDF fund, you can go and see. Here we have a leader, here we have a leader. But go to Nyanza. You have a leader, he'll receive more than 300 million, come back and live in Nairobi, he'll go there 1 year before election, then during that electioneering period, he'll be blaming Kikuyu community. But the question is, you've been a leader for 10 years.
Yes.
These people have been receiving funds from 1963. But now the question is, let's assume they've been utilizing effectively the funds they've been receiving since 1963. Nyanza today will be somewhere up. So before you blame a Kikuyu leader or the Kikuyu community, ask yourself.
Or Kikuyu government.
Yes. What is Mbadi doing currently? Because I'm pretty sure after 2028, Luos are going to be kicked out of government, whether they've been used or not. Because they're political.
This is the best analysis of Nyanza that I've had today.
Yes.
And I completely agree with it. That now we have a minister who's doing nothing. We have all these guys that are doing really nothing.
What are they doing?
What did Raila do for Nyanza economically? Do you know?
Nothing.
Nothing. Let's go to
Fanyamambo. He has stifled the economic development of Nyanza.
Yeah.
Because you could not even criticize
the
leader.
Fanyamambo has been patiently listening. I want him to take over the mic.
People speak of Gachagua.
Okay.
And some of the bad things they believe he says. But nobody wants to have a conversation about Kenya. There is no person alive sahi mwenye ametukana Raila kuliko Ruto. I want you to play the clips of 2021 and 2022 when William Ruto was campaigning in Mount Kenya. Alimuita muganga, akamuita mchawi, akamuita mtu wa vitendawili, akamuita sijui. I called Raila every name you would think about in the book. Kama kuna mtu alitukana Raila Odinga, ni huyu William Ruto. And so let us be fair as we have conversations about some of these leaders. Because some of those clips, I don't even think William Ruto would want them played in Luo Nyanza today. Because he would not have a place to go to. If there was a way for him to reach them in the internet, he would reach them. Then, today, actually yesterday, Duale was in Mandera. And he said some things in his language, hoping they will not get to us.
What did he say?
They've been translated to us. Na amesema Kikuyus are hyenas. He said very terrible things. In fact, there's a leader called Abdi Nur from DCP who is heading to NCIC tomorrow. And they have to raise that issue because he's called as hyenas. He said all sorts of things. Again, you go to Duale. The things that Rigathi Gachagua told them, nyinyi Northeastern leaders, you are the problem. Because the minute he started raising that, the young people from Northeastern themselves came up and started doing TikTok videos. And they said they only see their leaders when they come in an aeroplane. Those guys have never done anything with CDF. Niliona darasa zimeanza kujengwa ni kama, you know, flash, like you are in a hurry to show that there's something you've done with CDF money. So the biggest problem that sometimes we have, all of us, when we are fighting other communities, is there are our own leaders within our own communities. Ask yourself, kama Dende Nyoro anajenga classes, na anazipaka rangi, amefika mahali amemaliza more than 100 schools, now he's doing cabro and gates. Yani amemaliza sasa anajenga police stations. Your MP is getting a similar amount of allocation in CDF. Before you start saying Kikuyus are bad or Kalenjins are bad or Masais are bad, what is that terrible MP of yours who is telling you they are bad doing with the CDF that is being allocated to him? And we set a benchmark. Right now, every child in Keharo is paying 500 shillings. Now, a standard leader from another region will come and say, Wakikuyu wame benefit, wakati wa Kenyatta, wakati wa Uhuru, na wakati. Then you ask him, Dende Nyoro, you ask him, hii pesa Dende Nyoro anajenga nayo shule, anafika mahali analipia watoto shilingi 500.
Yeah.
Some of those constituencies in those places get a lot more money than Kiharu. So you, please, let us start looking inwardly and asking ourselves, before you say what Kikuyus have done and what they have not done, your governor, who has been entrusted with your county resources,
can you ask this guy about the governor that is taking all the money to Linda Mwananchi?
The other day I saw Gladys Wanga. No, the other day I saw Gladys Wanga. Gladys Wanga, and I want to be fair.
Yes.
She's one of the staunchest supporters of William Ruto. And she's been seen to support him openly. The other day she was put to task at Senate. She was asked, by the way, your county is owed 350 million by SHA. You are here telling everybody SHA is working, but SHA has not paid your county 350 million. Your hospitals are owed money, they are dilapidated, they don't have supplies. And that SHA that you are praising around here,
and she's sinking latrines for 500,000 per piece.
And she's sinking latrines at 500,000. I don't know, maybe they are carrying, maybe, I don't know. I don't want to use that language. But all I'm trying to say is that the problem we have in some of these regions is not really the national government problem. It's a problem of the people you elect. Finally, when I see someone who is going around saying two-term, there are a few things I want to tell you. Number one, a person who has not killed your children can build roads for you. A person who has not declared that your children wapigwe risasi ya mguu can build a dam for you. A person who has not stolen Aurora and Kimwarer dams money can still bring development to you. A person who has not brought you Ebola, a disease that the whole world is trying to run away from, can still build a road for you. A person who is not inviting Sudan rebels to KICC and having meetings with them, and you are seeing the atrocious things they are doing in Sudan, can still build a road for you. A person who has not taken a HELB university funding model that was working and brought a terrible one that is not working can still build schools for you. A person who has not killed capitation to primary schools and made life very difficult for our children who are in high schools can still build road for you. So I ask Kenyans, why do you have to go for the most terrible? Why do you have to go for the one who has killed your children? Why do you have to extend the term of the person who is bringing you Ebola? Why do you have to extend the term of the person who is bringing you the goons and hooded men that we saw in Olkalao and in every other place? We are at All Saints Cathedral. Why do you want to support the person who supports goons who come and raid a church? I saw the bishop in Kisumu holding arrows like this that had been shot at faithfuls in the church. I thank God that none of them landed on a person who was the parishioner there. Why do you have to say that a second term has to be added to such a person? I am daring to tell all Kenyans, Sifuna is on the ballot. Matiang'i is on the ballot. Gachagua is on the ballot. All those other leaders are on the ballot. I have looked at them and I am strongly convinced that amongst them, we can get a leader who is better than William Ruto. So let us first agree as a nation that we don't need William Ruto as president. We don't need a person who's killed our children. We don't need a person who works with goons. We don't need a person who's done the atrocious things that William Ruto has done. Once we agree on that, let us not say we are devoid of leadership. Kalonzo Musyoka is an option. Matiang'i is an option. Sifuna is an option. Mukikosa hao wote simuchague fanya mambo. I'm still an option. Say that I'm going for Dagoretti South. So let us first agree as a nation that William Ruto is not an option. All of us. We remove him as an option because you cannot kill us and lead us. Okay, you cannot shed our blood and lead us. You cannot send goons to kill us and lead us. You cannot bring us Ebola and then lead us. So once we agree that William Ruto is not an option, now we come to these others and ask ourselves, who is the best of them? That is how we build a nation. Lakini hii upuzi munajiekelea kushinda mukisema two term. We cannot add another term to William Ruto. It is wrong. Even in the face of it, even the Bible says, God hates fools because we are being fools. And finally, there's something I've always wanted to say about Sifuna, and maybe now I have a chance. Sifuna once vied for MP in Kandui. Can you imagine? The people of Kandui did not see what he was made of. Walichagua mtu mwingine wenye hata sasa tukumbuki. He came here in Nairobi, and sometimes I feel I can go slapping every Nairobian nikipatana naye mchapa coffee, because he offered himself for senator. And imagine the people of Nairobi voted for Sakaja wakachana na Sifuna. Now today the difference is as clear as day and night. That he's only done one term and he's being considered for the presidential ticket or a deputy presidential ticket. It tells you something, that if voters do not see a good leader, then they don't see. I see people here commenting about things about sijui Baby Pendo and Rivayala. Kenyans, wacha tufunge historia Rivayala leo, munikubalishe.
Okay.
William Ruto is the president of the Republic of Kenya. He's the commander-in-chief of every the armed forces. The police and all these other organs really are answerable to him through the Minister for Interior. I am urging President William Ruto, if indeed the Rivayala people were killed by, I've heard names being floated of, I don't know, Matiang'i, I don't know Uhuru, I don't know who. Whatever names have been floated, why don't we set up a commission of inquiry tomorrow? Why don't we completely unmask Rivayala if indeed the criminals are known? Why don't we take them to jail? Let us not speak as if William Ruto is weak. Let us not speak as if he's powerless. Munashinda mukirusha kajina Baby Pendo, sijui Rivayala. Baby Pendo is a small thing. He's now the president. Open a commission of inquiry. Get to the bottom of it. Let us know, Baby Pendo aliuliwa na nani? You know, this nonsense we keep here saying, ati saa zile mmefika mahali argument imekuwa ngumu, unataka kuongea juu ya Baby Pendo, unataka kuongea juu ya Rivayala. No. Let us finish Rivayala once and for all. Let us be men enough. Let us face this problem. Let us say, we open a commission of inquiry. Have even a secret way of them receiving emails. Kama unaogopa kusema what you know. Have a secret room at KICC where a person can walk in, their privacy is guaranteed. Provide a space even in a media house where you go and secretly give your views on Rivayala. So let us not speak about Rivayala as if we are helpless. Hii Kenya iko na DCI, hii Kenya iko na NIS, hii Kenya iko na investigative bodies, hii Kenya iko na EACC, hii Kenya hakuna kitu hatuna. Let us never discuss Rivayala again if we are not planning to set up a permanent solution for it. Let us not keep throwing Baby Pendo, sijui kajina kaujinga. That is nonsense. From where I sit, we have a government that has got everything it needs to bring that problem to an end. So the only conversation we should have about Baby Pendo... But it is not the government
bringing it to the fore, actually.
No. It is. Let me tell you. When you kill somebody, it is a crime against the state.
Of course.
It becomes republic versus. So it is the state to open that. Okay? Right. Wale watu waliuliwa Rivayala, na wale waliuliwa, hata si Rivayala, musimalizie hapo, tuende mpaka kule Shakahola. Let's open these things up. Let's deal with them firmly and decisively once and for all. I wonder why a president who keeps talking about Rivayala does not want it investigated. Why? Ebu jiulizeni swali, why would he not want it investigated? Mimi naomba tumalize hii maneno kama wa Kenya. Let's not keep talking about these things. Let's deal with them as men once and for all.
I want to go back to the unity of the mountain. Do you have that video where after the win, Gachagua says that there are people that need not to be elected in Mount Kenya? Do you have it? Let's listen to it.
As we deal with William Ruto, the fate of William Ruto is the same fate that will befall the traitors of the community. Today, I want to announce that all the people who are here to cause violence will be voted out in the next general election. I'm giving guidance to the people of Kikuyu constituency to wake up early next year to send Kimani Ichung'wa home. I'm giving guidance to the people of Kiambu to wake up early to send Anwar Murada home. I am giving guidance to the people of Muranga that Betty Minor should not attain 500 votes in the next year general election. I'm giving guidance to the people of Madeira, where I come from, and I'm a voter. Eric Wamumbi should not get 100 votes. I'm giving guidance to the people of Bahati that Irene Joki must be sent home. I am giving guidance to the people of Kiamba, that little young boy that I assisted to become a member of parliament, who have become a disgrace to the people of Kiamba and the people of Kiambu. John Kawanjiku must be sent home. I am saying that Sabina Chege should never get any elected position within the mountain. I am giving guidance that all these people from Nyandarua who abandoned their constituents and were here bribing people, the MP for Jororok Muchira, the MP for Kinagop Kwenya, the MP for Daragwa Gachagua, the women rep Faith Getau must be sent home. I am asking the community to view Moses Kuria as an outcast in the community. He has caused pain and suffering to the community. He is President William.
Allow me 1 second. There's something I want to clarify.
Okay.
It seems people hear what they want to hear.
Okay.
And I want to repeat it again.
Okay.
The President of the Republic of Kenya is the Commander-in-Chief.
Okay.
This is not the time when he did not have power.
Okay.
He has the powers. Badala ya kushinda tukiongea mambo ya baby Pendo, William Ruto na kuomba in the name of all Kenyans, let us investigate this matter, we finish it once and for all. Let us get the criminals and put them in jail. Sisi hatutaki kusikia shida inarudiwa as if we are helpless. This nation is not helpless. Wale wanataka kusikia zile vitu watasikia wasikie. This nation is not helpless. We are not a nation that is incapable of investigating baby Pendo. Those who support William Ruto, please tell him on my behalf to set up a proper investigation. I have seen people bring Scotland Yard here. Bring them if you have to, so that history ya baby Pendo iishe. Badala ya kushinda tukidiscuss as a problem, let us discuss it as a solution. Let us get it resolved once and for all. Mambo ya Rivayala, the same thing I'm going to repeat here, and I have said it again. Our president is not helpless. Kenya has a good investigative DCI if they want to work. Kenya has got NIS. History ya Rivayala tuifungue, tuimalize. Investigatiwe walioua. Mimi sitaki kujua anaitwa nani mwenye aliua. Kama ni huyo mnasema Matiangi, Uhuru ama Kamau ama Joroge ama Otieno, whoever it is, awekwe kwa jela. So that Kenyans stop complaining about baby Pendo, and Kenyans stop complaining about Rivayala as if it is something we are helpless about. That has to be very clear, that instead of complaining anymore, we want a solution. We want arrests. We want cases in court. We want people put behind bars. Mwenye aliua afungwe jela, you know? But let us not use it as this one thing that we shall always throw out there to appear as if it's going to solve our problems.
Okay.
We have a state capable of investigating, arresting, detaining and jailing watu wa kule Maharagwe. Na kama kuna mtu atanyongwa juu ya kuua watu, anyongwe ili family ya baby Pendo ipate justice, family ya Rivayala ipate justice. Let's stop throwing these things around like we are helpless. We are not helpless. William Ruto, take over this issue. Deal with it once and for all so that Kenyans stop asking about it.
Mr. Adrian, you at Linda Mwananchi believe in the preamble of the Constitution, correct? But what is Gachagua talking about? Gachagua is now saying that he's the one choosing leaders from Mount Kenya. That is how you guys at Linda Mwananchi are going to go about this forthcoming government.
There is no person at Linda Mwananchi who supports Gachagua.
Okay.
And I also don't like this kind of pretending that we are having, especially with Linda Mwananchi and a few of our members. Number one, there are a lot of questions and critical things to do with Gachagua.
Okay.
And we have a problem with it. You know, sometimes you tend to think that maybe Gachagua might stop with his tribal narratives. Or, you know, this kind of politics that actually drags us back to, you know, non-progressive reforms in this country. But sometimes you bump into one of the speeches again and you feel like we're still sliding back. He's still talking about the same things he was talking about in 2021. And I know somebody like Fanyamambo, who's my friend here, who will be vying on a DCP ticket and definitely needs that ticket from Gachagua. I know he might not openly and honestly talk about most of these critical questions that we are raising about Gachagua.
Like,
let us all agree that Gachagua has a problem. And it is difficult, and I'll be very honest, it is very difficult for you as Linda Mwananchi, the only movement in this Kenya that is propagating an ideology of, you know, we are moving away from this old style of politics and we're bringing new reforms into the country. And you wake up one day and you tell people that this is your next deputy president or this is a preferred presidential candidate, Gachagua. I tend to think that Gachagua is far much of a worse leader than William Ruto. And why is it that we are pretending? This is someone who has openly talked about tribal politics. You know the problem, sometimes we might try and compare and maybe say that, you know, maybe other people are also tribal. But this is someone who has been the loudest, the most blatant person when it comes to tribal politics and the narratives in this country. And it's disappointing because sometimes at Linda Mwananchi, sometimes you struggle so hard and you say that, you know, okay, our agenda is that William Ruto must go. Yes, we have to partner and work with certain people. But at the same time, you sit down and look at the person that you're supposed to be working with is antagonistic to what we really aspire as young people. And let me tell you, I'm not in Linda Mwananchi just as someone who's trying to get into politics or occupy as a political space. I'm also there as a young person. I'm also there as a Gen Z who's not political, a Gen Z who's watching me somewhere there and asking me that, Adrian, how comes you people are supporting Rigathi Gachagua, who was part of a government whom we are blaming for the same problems? And that is why when I listen to Gachagua speak, sometimes it makes everything worse. And you know, sometimes when in Linda Mwananchi, you might talk openly about these things and you know, there are people who will be very mad at you and they'll tell you, why, Adrian, have you talked about that person? You know, we have to unite as a country and remove William Ruto. Really?
But I want to stay with Adrian for a minute. Adrian, what I have, because the reason why I'm playing that video is actually in as far as the oneness of Mount Kenya is concerned. And the question that I keep wondering, because now Mr. Gachagua is directing the Kikuyu voters to vote a certain way. It is only the Kikuyu constituency that knows the kind of leader they want. It is, and he has mentioned many of those leaders, more than 5. Raila used to be the same as Gachagua, but never talked about it. In the glare of cameras and the entire international media. Okay? And now Gachagua is claiming that somebody's a dictator in the name of William Ruto, but he's now the de facto dictator in Mount Kenya and telling people that now I have given word that this person is not supposed to be elected. Kimani Ichung'wah, I don't know what Kimani Ichung'wah did in Olkalau, but he's saying that for some reason, Kimani Ichung'wah was involved in Olkalau. And the other question that I want to ask is, why should the mountain be one? Why should it be together?
It's not even one.
Yeah.
Don't you think that we are tired of that politics? Why is it that before this DCP came up, even before Fanyamambo, you joined DCP, you were tired about these issues of kingpin? Why is it that the discussion has suddenly shifted that we are now not discussing about what the people of Mount Kenya are supposed to be done for as leaders. Now what we are discussing is, you know, this is the person who has the keys to Mount Kenya, Gachagua. This is the political party that is supposed to be heading this particular region. And I tell people, the reason why I hated the DCP Olkalau by-election is because it elevated Gachagua to that particular point. To see himself and other people, other Kenyans, to see Gachagua as the new kingpin of Kenyans. And the moment you do that, you now take away Kenyans from the discussion of good leaders, or what leaders are supposed to be doing to us, to now the constant, perpetual, kingpin political discussion that we've been having for a very long time. In fact, there is no political season in Kenya where people sit down and look at and say, what is this presidential candidate going to do for us? The discussion that has always been online, and we are even discussing about it right now, is who's the next kingpin of this region. We are struggling to fit someone here, we are struggling to fit someone there, instead of asking for credible, good leaders that we're supposed to be having. And for me, I always, and I will always have a problem with Gachagua. Always.
Okay. Let me explain something here.
Yeah.
I think this tribal narrative had died for a long time. And he's right when he says that Fanyamambo for a very long time. In fact, I hated this conversation. But I want to take you to the Gen Z demonstrations of 2024 when they happened and this government came into place. What did they say? They came and said, ni watu wa region moja ndio wanafanya hii maandamano. And that was very painful to a standard young Luo, a Kisii, a Maragoli, a Taita, who had gone to the streets to demonstrate as a young person. Wakaamua ati hii maandamano ilikuwa ya watu wa Kikuyu. 2025 came and we were doing the anniversary of what we were remembering the young people who had died. For all I remember, Rex Masai was not a Kikuyu. Albert Ojwang, who was killed in a police cell, is not a Kikuyu, and Boniface. So on and so Boniface, and there are many. And what did we hear this administration saying? They wanted to make sure that it appears as if it's Kikuyus who are demonstrating. I mean, the Gen Z demos were not about Kikuyus. It was a people who were tired of bad governance, and we had all come up. I mean, Kasmuel was not Kikuyu when he was entering the Gen Z demos, and many other people who found themselves on the streets. So now, they came and said, and I remember Murkomen saying those words, ati Wakikuyu waliletwa na Thika Road, I don't know from Nyeri, from where. Then I remembered that even the names of some of those who were killed in those demos were not Kikuyus. Now, Sudi comes live on national television. Every day he's insulting Kikuyus. Nobody wants to talk about that, okay? Duale comes, he's just called as hyenas, all of us. He's called all the Kikuyus hyenas. Kesho anapelekwa in CIC. CS Roko comes, and his only agenda is how to split Kikuyus and to say that Kikuyus are bad, they are sitting on Mount Kenya East and Mount Kenya West. We never knew such things existed. Mbadi is always constantly. In fact, I think that is his homework. Akienda Luo Nyanza, just telling the people of Luo Nyanza that shida yenyu ni wa Kikuyu. Okay? Let us be fair. Murkomen, siku hizi kitu ikifanyika, when Linda Mwananchi and his ear were beaten up in Kisii, what did Murkomen say the following morning? Gachagua this, Gachagua that. Gachagua this, Gachagua that. Throughout, he blamed Gachagua for violence that happened in Keumbu, Kisii. When Akina Orengo was beaten up in Kisumu, you saw those young men who were brandishing pangas and arrows and bows. He came and he blamed Rigathi Gachagua for violence that happened in Kisumu. Okay? There's something I want you to understand. What we are trying to say here is that there is a generation that has had to respond to one another. Because Rigathi Gachagua akisikia watu wote wanavamia Wakikuyu, what will he do? He will wake up and respond. In fact, there are more people, if I mention for you the names, including Ruto, who once said, nyinyi hamuna shida na Wakikuyu kuliko sisi wa Kalenjin.
Of course.
Lakini kwamba wakati ikifika unatofautisha maneno. Unatafuta power kwanza, hiyo power ndio itakusaidia kutatua ile shida uko nayo na Wakikuyu. So Rigathi Gachagua wakes up and finds himself in an awkward position as the only leader who is now having to return to those other tribal leaders about the things that they say about the Kikuyu community. Am I saying it's a good thing? No. But what I am saying is, let us be fair. as we speak of Rigathi Gachagua as insulting other communities, can we have a conversation about Sudi? Can we have a conversation about Duale? Can we have a conversation about Roko? Can we have a conversation about Mbadi, who does that every other day? Can we have a conversation about Murkomen? Murkomen mpaka maandamano ya Gen Z anablame Wakikuyu. Can we have a conversation about Ruto, who said hakuna mtu akona shida na Wakikuyu kuliko Wakalenjin? That is the president. So what I am trying to say is let us be fair and let us say that there is this generation collectively. There is this generation collectively that is fighting as tribes, and then there is us who have to come now and rectify that. So that Adrian and I do that with Sifuna, and I do that with Babu Owino, and every time we sit, me, Sifuna, Babu Owino, Onyonka, and the others, we never see ourselves as tribal. We see ourselves as a young generation of promising Kenyans. So this tribal thing, people want to reduce it to a Gachagua affair. I want to open it up.
Before you come in,
Jagero, let me ask this question. You know, the greatest question that I have, and all Kenyans have.
Okay.
Do you think, Jagero, for the aspiration of this country and the reforms we are seeking,
United Alternative Government Coalition,
do you think, Jagero, for the reforms we are seeking in this country, do you see Gachagua as a fit leader?
You are asking me a question.
Yes.
I have a lot to say about Gachagua.
Do you see him as a fit leader to become your president?
But first of all, I will tell you that the government does not allow the Kenyan law, as far as I'm concerned.
The Kenyan law, Gachagua is eligible to vie for president under the Kenyan law. We have discussed that a number of times.
All right. So I'm going to ask you to answer that question. But first of all, I'm going to Fanya Mambo. Fanya Mambo, a lot of people are saying that you're not answering the question that I am asking. And
what is the question?
I agree with them. Why is Gachagua picking leaders in Mount Kenya?
Okay, Gachagua has come clearly and expressed his opinion about those leaders that he feels, in his opinion, are not fit to be elected in Mount Kenya. On some of them, I agree. There is people who are talking about specifically Kimani Ichung'wah.
Okay.
We have held political rallies across this country.
Okay.
Kwake tulitumiwa guns, kwake tulipigwa mpaka na polisi. Why is it not okay for us to have a one-term meeting in Kikuyu? I mean, they have two-term meetings wherever they want to have. Have you ever seen a two-term meeting disrupted? Have you ever seen one sent for goons?
No.
Have you ever seen a two-term meeting being disrupted? Or people being killed because they are singing two-term? They go to Nyeri, by the way. Gachagua's backyard. We've never found reason to mobilize against two-term people. The reason we are saying Kimani Ichung'wah is not fit to be a leader, again, within Kikuyu, is only one. That he's intolerant to divergent views. Number two...
But that should be the decision of Kikuyu voters.
I'll tell you why.
Yeah? Right?
I'll tell you why we are having that conversation.
Okay.
You go to that Kikuyu, they tell you he has built roads worth 2 billion because people like talking about this.
Yeah.
But when we were moving from NHIF to SHA, the person who brought that motion to parliament was Kimani Ichung'wah.
Okay.
Kenya lost 104 billion to a system, ya SHA, 104 billion. What Kimani Ichung'wah has taken away from his people is 1,000,000 times more than what he has given them. When this university funding model was being passed, that is now making every Kenyan suffer, mwenye ndiipeleka bunge ni Kimani Ichung'wah. Wewe unadanganywa na barabara za 2 million, alafu mtu anakutolea NHIF that was working anakuletea SHA. Unadanganywa na barabara za 2 billion, alafu mtu anakutolea a university funding model that was working anakuletea ingine. Unadanganywa na barabara za 2 billion, alafu school capitation, they are the same ones, walipitisha, uliona wakipatia mtoto moja 89 shillings. It was all over. 89 shillings mtoto moja, ni akina Ichung'wah ni bunge yao. Alafu, wanakuja wanapatia walimu wote Kenya. That's why we have a problem with people like Ichung'wah. People don't see the bigger picture. All the teachers in Kenya have been given 33 billion in 5 years. If you divide 33 billion in 5 years, you see how much they are getting per year. 30 divided by 5 is about 500 million for all the teachers in Kenya per year. And then State House is given 17 billion per year.
That is fair, but
it's not fair
it is
because
no, I'm saying that what you're saying is fair. But the question is, are you the one who is going to be determining the person that is elected in Kikuyu?
Yes.
How about the boy? How about Kawanjiko?
I'll tell you the problem with Kawanjiko.
Yes.
we asked ourselves,
okay,
what is the first ever bill or contribution that Kawanjiko made in Parliament? We've been observing. He waits, and then he says, put the question. And then once they put the question, he asks, how are we voting? I saw people like Bensouda speaking eloquently in Parliament. Anaongea anasema mambo ya sustainable development. Okay. Unafikiria ni words ngapi zilipita Kawajiko huko? Anasikia words zinapita huko. Akina Millie Odhiambo, they are making serious submissions in Parliament.
So Kawajiko was useless in Parliament.
Well, he wasn't useless. He was used to vote, and he voted in the wrong direction all the time. All the time, he voted in the wrong direction, including voting for the finance bill, ambayo inaumiza kila mtu mpaka wewe.
So, you are going to be deciding, as DCP, you are going to be deciding for his constituency.
Let me tell you something that Kenyans have not done for a long time that Americans do.
Okay.
Americans decide who gets the Democratic Party ticket and who doesn't get it. American decides the caliber of leader.
That is fine. That is fine. That is at the ticket leader. That is at the ticket, crossroad. That is at the junction. But the Republicans do not go around telling people that this person cannot be voted for.
I want to invite you to something. I want you to check Obama, somebody we really admire.
Okay.
Obama, as a retired president, has gone around the country telling people, do not vote for this guy, vote for, when this Hillary Clinton was vying. He campaigned actively for Hillary Clinton and decampaigned the other candidate against Trump, okay? The second election that came, he campaigned actively for Kamala Harris and decampaigned the other candidate. By the way, Kenyans, go back online and check. Obama is even involved in gubernatorial campaigns as we speak. He goes to states.
And because America does it, we should be doing it.
That's what democracy is about. He goes to states and says, mimi kama Obama, nimeangalia, nimeona, nimesema, you guys, this is not a good gubernatorial candidate.
So Obama. So I understand you.
So what we are saying as a party,
I think you
have a moral responsibility.
That is fair.
Yes.
So right now, you will be okay if Gachagua was to go on television. Today he was on KTN and tell the people of Dagoretti South not to elect you. You'll be okay.
In fact, let me tell you one thing.
You'll be okay.
It depends on the fabric you're built of. Me, I've always said, bring it on. If he came and said that in my constituency, the next thing I would do
I'm not asking what you do. I'm asking if you would be okay with it.
I would go back to Mwananchi and I would tell Mwananchi, look here, there is this narrative. I have come to offer myself. The people against whom Obama has decampaigned did not stop because Obama decampaigned.
So then what you're saying is, what you're saying is, Gachagua can tell people of Kikuyu constituency that we don't, as DCP and everybody else, we don't like Ishungwa. But you are also saying that if the people in Kikuyu still insist on choosing him, then they should.
Yes. What is happening in the US? Let me to explain it very easily.
Okay.
If Obama comes in a US campaign and says, do not vote for this governor, it has not stopped those people from voting for that governor.
Okay.
They usually still go and maybe vote for him on a Republican Party ticket or as an independent ticket in that same place. What we are saying is that now we need parties that have got a spine.
Okay.
Parties that can come and say, for example, we don't support the idea of LGBTQ whatever. And so for that reason, this person belongs to that school of thought. We are not going to give them their ticket and we are asking you don't vote for them. A party has got the powers to come and say, we don't support devil worshippers, for example. And so if you are one of them, we are not going to give you our ticket. A party has got the power to come and say, we don't like people who think like this. And for that reason, that person will not have our party ticket on their name. Now, does it mean that that person cannot for themselves to Mwananchi? No. It means that person can go as an independent. It means anaweza join Wiper. By the UDA accepts such leaders who are bad. They can go. So a party can come and say, for example, Betty Maina aliambiwa kwa nini asichaguliwe. Reason is she's been working with goons to beat us up.
Okay.
But there's a party that loves the philosophy of goons, and that party is UDA. So she's allowed to vote, to vie on a UDA ticket there. Because UDA loves the ideology of goons. The UDA loves the ideology of people stealing from the public. And somebody who is a thief is being told, don't come to our party. And we are telling our people not to vote for you in our party. But there is a party that loves thieves. And they have proven.
It is only on DCP. Was the instruction not to elect them to parliament, or the instruction was not to elect them on a DCP ticket?
He's speaking as the DCP party leader.
What do you think, Mr. Moses? What do you think about Gachagua giving instructions on Moses Nyandoga not to be elected in Ruiru?
You see, Jagero, the Kenyan constitution is clear. And each and every citizen of the republic has a political right to choose their leader.
Okay.
But just like I said some moments before that the only difference between Gachagua and other political leaders is that Gachagua is much louder. But whatever Gachagua said yesterday, day before, and even he has been saying, they're the same thing Raila used to do, but Raila was silent about. They're the same things President Ruto used to do, of course. It's only that he was silent. If you can criticize, or any other person, I'm not talking about you as an individual, if someone can criticize Gachagua for saying that residents of Kikuyu not to elect Kimani Chungwa, then you must ask yourself, the circumstances which led to the downfall of people like Raphael Tuju. It was all about that, whereby somebody, a kingpin, will decide for the people. What is happening with Gachagua is that he actually is seeing himself, and of course is the de facto Mount Kenya kingpin. And being a kingpin is just looking for the spanner boy. People will go to the parliament and stand with him, come rain, come sunshine. And actually, even in Nyanza, they used to say, I'll translate that, Kochope yero wa yer jogo manya chungirai la kochopo matek. To loosely translating into that, every time we go to the ballot, let us elect people who can stand with Raila, come rain, come sunshine. Even how did that go for the Lewis? And of course it was so perfect, and that is why you can see even before an election you'll predict the outcome of the election. So there is always a paradigm shift in a democracy like this. Kenyan democracy as of today doesn't allow us, in fact, to be so modern to an extent we can run away from our political DNA. All this thing is designed to an extent that it's your regional kingpin who is giving you instruction on whoever to be the governor, on whoever to be the senator. And if you doubt that, you must ask yourself, why is it that the Central Rift Valley leaders are people who are elected on UDA ticket? Ask yourself, why Nyanza leaders, Luo Nyanza, almost all of them, except, is it Ugunja, a member of parliament, the rest were elected on ODM ticket. So it's something which has been happening. As much as this generation we are trying to change it, it's something slowly. However, on the issue of Gachagua instructing people of Mount Kenya not to elect other leaders or not, it is constitutionally untrue, but factually true. In the sense that that's the actual thing and factual thing which has been happening upper kwa ground. But constitutionally and legally, it is untrue, because our constitution provision give us that right and mandate as an individual to choose leaders who can best represent our interests.
So do you agree with it?
I agree, because that is the bare minimum, of course. We can go. That's what has been happening. So then if you agree with it, it seems to me like you're biting your tongue. Because when we were talking before, you said that the downfall of Luo Nyanza has been the leaders that have been voted in because of what Gachagua is saying. Raila has always said that Orengo will always go, he will do nothing, he will always end up in parliament. Of course.
Nyong'o will always go, he will do nothing, he will end up in parliament. Nyasuna Wanga will do nothing, but he will always go there and be the governor. So now you're agreeing that was good. That was good. But also on the same end, on the other hand, you're also saying that is okay. So which one is it?
As a change maker, Jagero, you must first come to reality with whatever is happening.
But is reality always a good thing?
Reality is a good thing, because before you provide an alternative or a solution...
So it is true that Ruto is stealing from this government. That's the reality.
That's the reality.
You're against it.
And I'm against it.
But then when Gachagua is standing up and saying that these people should be picked, you are okay with it?
I'm okay with it. Because it's reality still. If President Ruto's government is so corrupt, that's a reality.
And that is the reality.
If Gachagua is coming and saying, but I don't agree with it.
But if Gachagua is picking leaders from Mount Kenya, and Raila is picking leaders from Luo Nyanza, and Ruto is picking leaders from Rift Valley, you agree with it?
This is the reason. Politics is always a social engineering tool. And you need a strong social and culturally based structure for you to succeed. And when you have a look at the structure of the Kenyan politics, we cannot run away from that route. What I can say is this: Moving forward, through civic education, through paradigm shift, and the kind of revolution we are seeing catching up day by day, we can be in a position to change that.
But you want to run away from Ruto?
But I want to run away from Ruto, of course.
Okay.
I don't support. In fact, why do we keep pretending? My fellow young person, just call it as it is. The statements of Gachagua are wrong for a constitutional democracy like Kenya.
I support that.
You cannot.
It is wrong,
you do
but
not
I support because that's
leaders.
the current structure.
You do not handpick leaders for people and still talk about democracy and change. Absolutely not. Yes, you can talk about what other leaders have failed, but you do not put a gate and say that if you want to be elected in this particular region, you can only be elected through this particular party. And that is what they are trying to do, and that is what we do not want. And it will be detrimental to the people who are actually agreeing this. Most of the people who are saying that, okay, let's have this DCP party, most of them will be crying here when they don't get that ticket. It happens in ODM. So why should we allow this kind of politics to keep on going? That one particular person will decide that these are the leaders who have to be elected, like we did in ODM.
No, let me tell you something.
The statements were wrong. If you truly embody change in this country, let the best of leaders rise as they emanate from the people and choose those leaders, or give the opportunity to the people, maybe through nomination or other structures that are available in our constitution, to be chosen by those people.
Can I say something? Because there are people who don't understand. And I want the people online to walk with me through this journey. Sometimes we live in Nairobi and we decide we are going to Meru, for example. Kufika tu pale Nkopo tunakuta barabara imefungwa, mawe imejaa, moto inawaka, tunapigwa na mawe. Mimi nimechange windscreen za gari zangu mpaka, gari za Gachagua zingine zinakuanga zimefensiwa kama nyumba ya kuku. Because of the fighting we are getting. And these people will start testing it. And I want to put him in those shoes. Wako pale Kisike Umbu, right? Now let us, and you know the MP who beat you up. Now let us imagine that MP is coming from Kibagendi's constituency. Kibagendi amekuwa na nyinyi, mumeanza na yeye, mumezunguka na yeye, mumepigwa na yeye, mumeface hizo shida zote. Mwenye alikuwa na wapiga, anakuja anasikia Linda Mwananchi is the most popular political party. And that guy has stashed away some money ameiba kutoka kwa hii serikali, 50, 60, 100 million. He plans to use on nomination day alone. Ako willing kupatia kila mtu 3,000 shillings, akuje ashinde nomination ticket ya Linda Mwananchi. Let's assume it's a political party. He's the guy who is beating you up in Kisii. And he doesn't care. He's not interested in what's happening. Even he's killed people by the way during your rallies. Then he comes there and he gets the Linda Mwananchi ticket. And now that guy, remember, he was beating you up because he was working with William Ruto.
As you're finishing, but by that same logic, can you also use that same logic with the party leader of DCP?
No,
that
that's
he
why
did
I'm
all
coming
these things to Kenyans. He was part of the people who called that, protesters, the killing
the
and all, and the stealing and the corruption, but you still allow him to become the party leader of DCP. So he's also saying that other leaders cannot be allowed to DCP because of the atrocities they have done. So why are we allowing Gachagua to become the DCP party leader and endorsing him as a presidential candidate? It's the same logic.
Did I even finish what I was saying? This is what I am telling him, because he's in Linda Mwananchi, and this is a problem you are going to face.
Okay.
Do you see the MP who beat you up in Kisumu? The guy who was beating up Akina Orengo? The guy who sent those goons who had come with arrows and they went to church. Now that guy comes to Linda Mwananchi and he wants the Linda Mwananchi ticket for that constituency.
But I think Fanyamambo, you are talking about apples and oranges.
No, this is what you've asked. Why?
Gachagua was very specific about what he wanted.
Of course.
He was not talking about party politics.
My friend,
Gachagua gave a very clear instruction.
Why did he mention those people?
Should not be elected.
Why did he? Wait a minute.
He did not. What did he say? Did he talk about DCP?
Jagero, really. You are listening, but you're not listening.
Okay.
I want you to listen to me carefully.
Because I'm just listening to the clip.
Jagero.
Okay.
I go back.
Okay.
He mentions names. Does he mention Betty Minor?
Yes.
Does he mention Kimani Ichung'wah?
Yes.
The people he mentions are the people who've been beating up the DCP.
But again, Mr. Fanyamambo, you are running away from this fact. Ichung'wah is not in DCP. He's not. And he's not looking at getting a DCP ticket to run in Kikuyu.
I am telling you one thing. No. I want you to understand again.
Okay.
Jagero, yes. Listen to me because wewe utaingia kwa siasa.
I am listening to you.
Ungekuwa wewe ni mkaazi wa Keumbu. Okay? Na kuna mbunge amepanga watu wa Keumbu wakakufa.
Okay.
Is that a leader worthy of election?
Can I answer that question?
Yes.
I, as a voter, will make that decision. As a voter, I will say no. But how about the other voters? They have to have their voices heard, right?
That is why we are saying, in Kisumu, a guy plants people with arrows to go into an Anglican cathedral and shoot people with arrows inside that church. And because we know who voters are, watakuja wapatue 500 siku ya kura, wachague mtu ambaye anatuma watu wakarushe arrows ndani ya kanisa. There has to be a leader who will come and say, look here, you don't have to like me, but we don't deserve this kind of leadership. Jagero, a time comes in this life when you have to make certain decisions. Okay. Let me tell you, those are not the most popular decisions, but they are the right decisions. Jagero, the day you will wake up and leave your house with your car with all the windscreens, alafu muende mukute kiongozi fulani anawamwagia windscreens, anawaua. Jagero, we've been shot at.
Yeah,
Jagero, we've lost people.
But where can you provide evidence that Ichung'wah was the one who was bringing these goons?
Yes.
Where the text
evidence
messages
is here. The first thing he told us.
Okay.
Alituambia, and he said it on national TV.
Okay.
Mukimanage kuingia Kikuyu, nitajua mimi sikutahiri properly. He swore. And he said that tutaingia Kikuyu. And as early as 7 in the morning, the whole bypass, a great northern corridor, ilikuwa imefungwa na goons. Wanawasha mataya na polisi waulizi swali. That the whole country suffers. Muzigo inaenda western, muzigo inaenda wapi. Haitapita hapo because goons sponsored by government think that for us to go to Kikuyu is a more important issue than a truck. Zile zote zilitobolewa miguu and all those things that happened. People lost a lot of property. Trucks were burnt that were innocent just because DCP has said is going there. Na wamefunga barabara na ni goons supported by government. That kind of leader who sheds that amount of blood and who does those things. Remember, by the way, nataka muingie kwa internet, that Kimani Ichung'wah came on national TV and said, tuta invade kwa Uhuru. Na akasema mwenyewe kwa TV, check on your TV, check on your phone. Na akasema verbatim, hiyo shamba watakatakata na watagawia watu. Did it happen or not? He said himself. Go check.
The same
Kimani Ichung'wah promises to invade Uhuru's property. He did it.
That was not Gachagua.
It is on your phone. Unajua utasema yangu inakudanganya. Every viewer, go look for Kimani Ichung'wah saying those words. And it came to happen. So what we are trying to say, those are the kind of leaders that by whatever standards we don't want. If someone comes and says, I am a self-proclaimed devil worshipper, why would I as a party leader want to come and campaign for them? I'll decampaign them. So we have leaders we must decampaign. We must decampaign. Hiyo by the way, sikudanganyi. We have certain people who don't deserve it. Wale watu wameuliwa hii Kenya. Easy abductions. Munafuata, munasikia mbunge
what fulani. What did he do? You said that he did not do anything in parliament.
Now, mimi sina dosia ya Kawanjiko, so sitaongea za Kawanjiko. But at least we know about Wamombi, we know about Betty Maina, we know about their nexus and the connection with all these violent crimes that have happened against us. We saw them. Now look at Olkalao. Thank you for asking about Kawanjiko. We actually had given him the benefit of doubt until he put himself in the crime scene. Na akakuja mwenyewe jana kwa TV akasema, I had come, but I had come to do the good things. I had come. Then a video emerges on NTV of Kawanjiko actually coordinating the hooded men and telling them where to go and where to throw tear gas and who to shoot at. Piga wale risasi. Now, why would you, as a leader, accept that such a leader deserves to be elected again? So yes, Gachagua has got his weaknesses as a human being. Those ones I will not defend him for.
What are Gachagua's weaknesses?
I think there are many. I have to sit.
Fanya mambo asipate ticket.
Can I answer that maybe Jagger?
You guys let Fanya mambo get his ticket, let him become the next MP.
You'll be very happy.
Because that
You
is
are very
someone I know.
foolish. You are very foolish. Gachagua was about to answer.
No, he just sighed. But let him get his DCP ticket. Let the young people take over.
I think one
party.
of them, and I'll tell you very, very quickly, is Gachagua will tell you the truth regardless of what will come out of it.
Of course, yeah.
He was like, you remember Michuki when Nation was attacked? When Nation was attacked, Michuki, watu wakasema msiache Michuki apatiwe kamera because Michuki didn't know how to lie. Michuki alikuja kwa kamera akasema nini? When you rattle a snake. So government was hoping they would have gotten away with it, but Michuki got the microphone before everybody. I think when he calls himself a truthful man, he comes out and he just throws the truth out there. And sometimes you just have to contend with what he has said. So we are where we are, and we have a country to build. I think the most important thing, as I said before, is we all agree William Ruto is not fit to be president of the Republic of Kenya.
We do.
And then the next thing is we agree we have a pool from which we can choose good leaders. We have not forced Gachagua, the DCP candidate, on Kenyans. We have said he's an option, okay? We have also said that Sifuna is an option, and he's a good option. We have said Matiang'i is an option. Kalonzo is an option. So stop dwelling so much on trying to show us how bad Gachagua is. Why don't we have a conversation about whom do you think is a really good candidate? And why should we give them the ticket? I think let us spend our energy there. Kwa hawa wenye tuko kwa united opposition, who is this candidate that we all agree is a good candidate? Mimi ile siku wa Kenya watakuja wasema wanataka Eugene Wamalwa, ama wasema wanataka Justin Muturi, ama Martha Karua, ama wanasema wanataka Matiang'i ama Sifuna. Who am I to say no? Even when they say they want Kalonzo, who am I to say no? So let us not speak as if Gachagua is the only presidential candidate on the ballot. We have said that all those people are options. Let us concentrate on getting the best option.
Of course.
All right, Mr. Let us go to your last words. It's been a very interesting conversation today. What are your last words as we bring this conversation to a close tonight?
It's wonderful. It has been a wonderful conversation, and this is my parting shots. I'll have to say this first. As a country, we have history, and we've not been living a very glorious life in this country. We have times when sometimes we come together and chart our own way forward.
Yeah.
And some of the times we also have some of the historical injustices which must be settled. But now my question is, why the timing at a time like this? It's not a time when we should sit down maybe to recollect ourselves and collect back some of the problems we've had before as a country.
Yeah.
Moving forward, as a Kenyan first, I should know and take the responsibility, knowing very well that future of this country depends on young generation. The choice you make today will have consequence tomorrow. If you choose Gachagua, well and good. If you choose Ruto, well and good. It's because of you. But all the problems we've been facing...
Who is your presidential candidate?
My presidential candidate, the best fit as I speak today, is someone like Sifuna.
Okay.
Because at least he has what it takes.
Deputized by who?
One vote.
Not really. Deputized by somebody like Kalonzo. I believe that can be one of the best bets. Yeah, so moving forward as a country, we need to change. As much as we talk about legacy politicians, we should eradicate them. And this thing is intergenerational. The generation of Raila did something. The generation of Orengo, at least now our generation to stand for something. And whatever we stand for today is economic liberation. In the process, there is no economic independence without political independence. And that said, President William Ruto should go home for our political independence to define our economic status. Thank you so much.
Mr. Fanyamambo, your last words. Are you gonna support Sifuna as the presidential candidate or Kalonzo Musyoka? Are you gonna be bold tonight?
I have said this and I will say it again.
Okay.
The 5 or 6 or 7 who have offered themselves to be presidential candidate are options.
Okay.
Mine is to say that we want the best out of them. Remember, there are people who come and tell you, I think so and so is fantastic. My friend, William Ruto is looking at numbers, and numbers are brutal. The negotiations there will not just be at who looks handsome, I don't know who can pull which crowd. The negotiations there will be, how do we get the numbers to beat William Ruto? Remember, an election is brutal. It's about numbers. An election is not about at whom you think is fantastic. The election will be about numbers. And I can tell you that conversation in that room will be, how do we make sure we beat William Ruto? So I am saying, I am going to support.
So the end justifies the means.
I am going to support I'm going to support a decision that will help us take William Ruto home. There is no need in having a conversation.
But you must have your own preferred presidential candidate.
Listen, I've told you again. My preferred presidential candidate is anybody capable of taking William Ruto home.
Come on.
Yes, because that's the biggest problem we have. 80% of our problem is William Ruto. Let me tell you, you can come, Jagero, let me tell you.
Yes.
All those people are my friends. I can come today and say, I want Kalonzo. What if the arithmetics does not favor him to take William Ruto home? What if I come and say, I want Rigathi Gachagua? No, wait, I can come and say...
You want Ruto home, but you also want somebody who can manage the country better than Ruto.
I agree, but I have told you again, it is possible to go into that room and live with a presidential candidate who can't take William Ruto home. You'll have done zero work.
Of course.
So whatever you do, just know that in that room, the question would be,
Ruto home?
Which combination?
Who takes Ruto home?
I'll tell you two combinations that could take William Ruto home.
Okay, great. That is better.
A Kalonzo Sifuna ticket will take William Ruto home.
Who is sitting at the top?
A Kalonzo Sifuna ticket in whichever shape or form.
Okay.
It will take
so
William Ruto home.
So you agree with the gentleman?
Yes, I agree with him. It will take William Ruto home.
Okay.
As a Kalonzo Matiang'i ticket will kind of struggle to take him home, but it will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kalonzo Matiang'i.
Yes. The only reason I have never really wanted to propose a Rigathi Gachagua presidency, much as is my party leader, is because that is what William Ruto wants.
Of course.
He wants to galvanize the whole nation against Kikuyus. And we want to deny him that pleasure. It's the only reason.
Really?
If he hears Rigathi Gachagua is the candidate, atakuja ambie wa Kenya, it is Kenya versus Kikuyus.
Oh, yeah?
The one reason we should take a step back is because I know, kama kuna kitu William Ruto anaomba usiku na mchana, ni tulete Rigathi Gachagua, so that I galvanize the whole nation against Kikuyus. And that's the pleasure we don't want to give him. That's why umeona kina Mbadi wakizunguka huko wote wakiongea mambo ya Mount Kenya. We shall deny him that pleasure. Afadhali yake ya Mungu hata tulete Uhuru Odinga na tumpatie kura. But we will not give him that pleasure.
Okay. Mr. What is your presidential candidate?
It has been clear a little bit.
Okay.
For me, my preferred presidential candidate is Edwin Sifuna at this particular moment.
Deputized by who?
I don't have any specific candidate right now that I would feel would be the best suited deputy candidate for
You should be serious, Jagero, no? You should be serious.
We need to be serious.
We need to be serious.
What is wrong with Abiswena?
Presidential
what is really wrong with Abiswena as a deputy president?
Being a president or a deputy, or even the presidential candidate itself and the campaign, it's a very serious thing, I think.
Campaign?
Even campaign itself.
Oh, so you are taking away because of the money?
The answer is simple. It's not because of the money.
Yeah. What is? But the guy is saying because of the money.
Serious. We need somebody with experience, connection.
What experience do Uhuru have?
Leadership.
Jagero, who are you fighting against in that election?
Yeah.
William Ruto and Kindiki.
Is William Ruto a joke at the ballot?
Yeah.
Are you saying that Zwena is a joke at the ballot?
I'm just saying that the numbers matter.
Yes.
But Zwena is Zwena.
And somebody with energy.
Why would you deny? So
there's something about
longevity. So where is Sifuna getting the numbers?
There's something about longevity.
Where is Sifuna getting the numbers?
That's my answer. There's something about longevity in politics. Sifuna has been ODM SecGen for 8 years. He's been senator for now, this is the 4th year, I believe. Yeah. Okay? So Sifuna has been around, and he's been around Baba. In every rally that Baba spoke, the SG of ODM spoke. So Sifuna Kenyans have formed an opinion of him over time.
Of course.
That longevity is wealth in politics. Abi Zwena might be beautiful, she might be brilliant, she's a good Kenyan, but Kenyans have not experienced her longevity in politics.
Again, you are speaking on behalf of Kenyans.
I am telling you because I am in this country, he's in this country, he's in this country.
He's a Kenyan.
Yeah. Sifuna has not come from, let me tell you, if Sifuna had come from heaven yesterday, people would not trust him. But they have seen him as tested
before.
They have seen him as senator, and they believe in Sifuna. So he's a good candidate. That one, nobody will ever take it away from him. Sifuna is a good candidate.
You disagree that Abizwena shouldn't.
I haven't disagreed. In fact, for me, my philosophy and ambition for this country is that we should wake up one day and anyone can become a deputy president, anyone can become a presidential candidate. That is what we have fought for. We do not want that you have to be a legacy politician who has served in this country for over 50 years.
And in any case, a deputy president is sort of a nobody,
so
right? Why would you not give it to, I mean, uenda pale kuja huku. That's what Kindiki is doing in Cumberland, wherever.
Jagero.
I'll not succumb to that answer.
Jagero, you have a house help in your home.
Yes.
Do you know one of the first things your wife aliuliza? Have you ever worked in another home? If the answer had been no, most likely hangempea kazi. Unajua kuangalia mtoto, unajua kufanya homework. Mimi sitakuja kukufundisha kufungua microwave. So I am just telling you
but
that
you want
Kenyans you have a very high standard. No. You have a very high standard when you are coming to choose your house help. But you don't have a standard for leadership. Unasikia ati you want to be
Abizwena is a very capable person.
You are saying
she led the
as much as we need a young person.
She brought Linjiru to she called Linjiru
who said she's incapable?
You see, you have just asked a very good question.
So much.
No,
as much as we need a young person, not just any young person.
Okay. Would you agree to Pauline Njoroge becoming the deputy president?
Not really.
Okay, so which woman in this country that is young would be a deputy president or a presidential candidate?
Somebody like Faith Odhiambo at least.
What has
Faith Odhiambo as compared? At least she's someone who has history. We saw what she did during 2024 at least protest.
Which history has Faith Odhiambo
when I compare Pauline Njoroge and Faith Odhiambo, Faith Odhiambo is better a little bit.
How?
Faith Odhiambo has tried. When it comes to democracy, human rights, justice, and no, we are comparing the two. Pauline Njoroge and Faith Odhiambo. Now we are working on merit.
In the political corridor.
Yeah, but being in the political corridor, you can be in the political corridor for even 40 years. But what's about your legacy? Your legacy. What's the legacy of Pauline Njoroge? From your side, what's the legacy of Pauline Njoroge? To speak from the bottom of your heart and mind.
So being the president of LSK is enough for someone to be a vice president?
At least apart from being, because we have seen presidents of LSK going to bed with the administration of the day. But this is somebody who has questioned serious governance and political matters in this country.
Jagero, my point was, okay, for 2027, let's work with our numbers quite well, choose the best deputy candidate and make sure that William Ruto goes home.
The numbers.
But for
what do you mean by numbers, by the way?
What do I mean
in finishing, what do you mean by numbers? You mean the tribal numbers?
No.
What numbers?
There's no single day I speak about tribal numbers.
No, but what numbers are you talking about?
Kenyan numbers.
Which numbers?
I speak about getting. If we are going to definitely replace the government,
the assumption is that you are getting somebody who has got a large following behind them.
I'm not going to classify Kenyans. What I'm going to say is just a leader who has the popularity with Kenyans. That is it. I'm not going to classify Kenyans into groups, mountains, lakes. No.
Of course, he's right.
Jagero, I'll tell you something.
Okay.
Are you aware that Linda Mwananchi is very popular in Bungoma? Are you aware that very many leaders, including this guy from here, Westlands, what was his name? Wanyonyi.
Yes.
Has had to associate himself with Linda Mwananchi.
In fact,
I will tell you this. Very many Kenyans come on these cameras and they say how they are not tribal. But let me tell you a secret, Jagero, which is known very loudly. How many Kalenjins voted for Raila Odinga knowing he's Luo and there was Ruto on the ballot? How many Luos voted for Ruto knowing Raila was on the ballot?
But
But twende pole pole. So these are questions I want you to...
I'm going to answer.
So what I'm trying to tell you...
Can I answer and say that Abizwena is a Kikuyu with 7 million votes behind us? If that is where you are going.
No.
Whatever is talking about acceptability also.
But she's talking about Kalenjins and Luos and all these people. And I'm telling him that Zwena has got 7 million votes.
Do you think Rigathi Gachagua can endorse Zwena?
Where is Jubilee most popular right now?
Easter sijui bwana.
The truth is, it's
Jubilee
very
got kura moja.
No. Jubilee is very no. Let me tell you,
Yes.
Jubilee is very popular in Kisii. To the extent that
I see, because of Matiang'i.
To the extent that Morara Kebaso had to go in. The problem I have with Kenyans.
Okay.
Akia nani wanakujanga kwa spaces kama hizi za mtandao wanakudanganya, wanakwambia venye hawako tribal.
Hey.
Jioni wakirudi, akia nani wakirudi. Unasikia Rift Valley ilivote Ruto. Luo Nyanza ilivote Raila. Huku walivote Uhuru. You ask themselves. Na wale niliona kwa mtandao walienda wapi? When they go back home at night, they become so terribly tribal. I mean, how comes Casmuel is not in Jubilee or DCP? Yeah. So the thing is, I wish Kenyans were very sincere when they type the things they type here.
Yeah.
The problem is, ukienda umuulize peke yake quietly, huyu mwenye anatype hapa, utavote nani? Na kwenyu ni wapi? That's when you realize that if Raila is on the ballot and Ruto is on the ballot, the Luos will vote for Raila, the Kalenjins will vote for Ruto. And then you come and ask, are you guys very serious about being united? And that's why Linda Mwananchi right now, utaona ile wave itakuwa nayo Western. Alafu hiyo Linda Mwananchi unakama unajiuliza mbona haina wave sana kwa Kikuyu? Mbona haina wave sana place fulani? The truth is, those Kenyans who pretend not to be tribal, at night when they go back home, they are very tribal. And I wish we can end that hypocrisy. The reason sometimes I earn enemies is because I speak the truth. Mimi nakwambianga kitu inakujamisha, but ukienda home,
you're truthful like your family.
Ukienda home, unafanya hesabu unaona, umse ameniambia tu kweli.
Yes.
Yeah. So just put your mouth where your vote is. Ambia tu wa Kenya ukweli, kwamba wewe, kuna mahali imefika, that the bulk of Kenyans, there are few pragmatic ones. Maybe there are 2, 4, 5, 6, 10 Kenyans who are very pragmatic. But the bulk of them, they pretend to be people they are not.
People of the internet, we are finishing this podcast on a very unfortunate note that you guys are all tribal and you'll always go back to your tribal cocoons, which is a shame. And Mr. Nyanduga, as a young person, I'm very ashamed of, because he said the same thing. Yes. It is only Adrian that is saying that we need to do better. All right, but it has been a beautiful conversation, and I've loved it. We have been very honest about the issue of tribe. We have been very honest about all these things. And I hope as Kenyans we can continue to have this conversation and say them as it is. And I want to thank you, Mr. Moses Nyanduga, for being very truthful tonight.
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Fanyamambo, he's been a very bold person when you talk to him about these issues. And what I like about him is that he does not, even when things are a ton of bricks coming towards him, he's not scared. He will face you. And the TikTok lawyer here, Mr. Adrian.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure having you here. The star of the show is always the people of the internet that gather around the bonfire and talk to us and create their own town hall here and listen to us until we finish. I want to thank Mr. Franz, who has been on the deck, and I want to thank Mr. John Tess, who has been on the cameras, and everybody else at Core Media that is involved in doing everything that we're doing. Until the next episode, people of the internet, bye for now. Much, and I just had a break to tell you about my new book. You know, everybody says that there is no job, and that is true. Also, that was me 10 years ago. The problem is that everybody is trying to get a job in their town, in their city, in their marketplace. They ask friends for jobs, mothers call uncles, uncles call brothers, but there are no jobs. Let me tell you what no one is telling you. Jobs migrated online. What I actually mean is there are many jobs around the world, and there is no one to do them except you. I work for Americans myself. I work for Europeans. I work for the Chinese. I work for the Australians. I work for the Canadians. And so, because I have done so much for myself, I said to myself, you know what? I should compile what I've been doing for the last 15 years. So in 2024, I wrote a digital book called Goldmine 18 Hustles for Africans. And then in 2025, AI came. People say AI is taking away our jobs. And for me, I'm going to say false. There are actually AI jobs. Jobs are not being taken by AI, but there are new jobs online that are there because of AI. Na mimi ni nani? I created more jobs. And for now, in my new book, we have 25 online and offline jobs that you can leverage on if you do not have a job. So in this powerful volume 2, I share 25 new actionable online hustles specifically researched and tailored for Africans. My new book provides clear step-by-step guidance drawing from my extensive experience and research, including the mistakes I've made and lessons I've learned over the 15 years that I have worked online. So what can you do online? You can become an executive assistant for busy folks in Europe, America, Canada, and get paid for tasks like watching videos and taking online surveys. Okay? You can build a lot of things, build a business as a virtual assistant, start an e-commerce shop without capital, be an affiliate marketer, or you can also become actually an English tutor and tens of AI jobs. If you have a job, that is fine. But I also know that you can buy this book for that brother, for that sister, for that mother, for that cousin, for that husband who is watching Netflix all day at home. Buy it for your friend who is always asking for cash. You know that friend. Now, all the information is on the description below. You can also inbox me, you can WhatsApp me, or go to my website, which is odworjigero.co.ke.